Good evening and welcome to what is going to be a very, very busy day of action in La Liga. We are down to the final two match days of the season in Spain. It all ends this week and it might actually not necessarily be sorted tonight, but we will know who is winning the title dependent on the results tonight, of course. Some big games going on. Every team is playing. There's a whole host of fixtures. And we're going to keep you up to date throughout the night with every single game that is going on. So, my webcam has gone. There we go. Welcome to the stream. Thank you all for joining. It is, of course, the Liga Live today. And what a set of games we've got for you. 9 fixtures, technically 10, realistically speaking. Not just today, but going on throughout the entire of the week. We've got games tonight and games on Sunday. It's going to get really, really busy with all the action. Welcome in, Reese Allen. How are we doing? Thanks for joining, buddy. Hope you're all good and well. It's going to be busy tonight. Every team is playing. There are 2 matches left. One tonight, one on Sunday. I'm going to be live today for the fixtures. Of course, the Matchday 37 ones. And then the Matchday 38, the final one. I'll be live once again for those ones on Sunday night. So you don't want to miss out on what is going to be a very, very hectic set of matches today. Now, necessarily speaking, the game we are focused on is Real Madrid Villarreal. Going to keep you up to date with that. Tell you how it is going down there. But of course, there's plenty of other fixtures going on throughout the entirety of the night. All the games kicking off at 8 o'clock UK time. For those of you that are interested in La Liga. How do you, mate? Been a while? Yeah, it's been a while. Hope you're all good, man. I'm not too bad. I need to get my life back. I'm going to get facial hair and that all sorted and get it off because I've just been letting it grow. But apart from that, I'm not too bad. Luckily, the Wi-Fi has sorted itself out. So Virgin Media must have watched the podcast yesterday and kind of looked at the issues that I had with the Wi-Fi. So we're all good with that today. Fingers crossed I haven't just jinxed it. So the way that tonight's show is going to work, as I said, it is a watch-along, not just for the Real Madrid and Villarreal game. It's for all of the matches. Going to keep you up to date with the scores, with the table, with everything that you need to know throughout the entirety of tonight's stream. And just as I say that the Wi-Fi is all right, I'm now starting to drop frames, which is not good at all. And hopefully, let me just very quickly check here and see if we're not like dive bombing down with any bit of stream that's dropping 2 seconds. Because we are dropping frames a little bit now. I've literally just jinxed it. How's the tournament going? It's all finished now, the tournament. All done and out of the way. We're finished now. That finished with France winning it. It was a France-Croatia final on that one. And yeah, that's all finished and done now. So it was a good, enjoyable tournament. Apologies if I am dropping frames very, very slightly. The internet, as I said, hasn't been the most amazing. And just as I say, it's been all right. I jinx it. But as I said, tonight, if the frames haven't dropped, as of tonight, we've got some big games going on. Every team is playing, so I'm going to keep you today. Every goal, every game, every moment. And then, of course, the whole emphasis tonight is to find out who's going to win the La Liga title. Of course, Real Madrid playing off against Villarreal. It's a tough game of football. That kicks off in just 9 minutes' time. If they do win tonight, it does mean that they win the title for the first time in 3 years. So if you are a Real Madrid fan, then of course this is a big, big night ahead for you. If you're a Barcelona fan, then you're praying that Villarreal can beat them, of course. Barcelona did play off against Villarreal a couple of weeks ago. We did actually watch that game as a watch-along live fixture. They are facing off tonight against Osasuna, who are not necessarily fighting for relegation, necessarily speaking, but they are towards the bottom end of the towards 11th actually in the table right now. 48 points, not a bad season for them at all. My bad, been busy as fuck. I've been able to keep up. It's all right, buddy. It's been a crazy couple of weeks, but I know I am doing another tournament actually. You're going to do a Champions League tournament at the beginning of August, but I'm going to kind of keep everybody up to date with that. And keep you all up to date with when you can kind of start applying to play on with the tournament. So games do kick off in about 8 minutes time. I am going to just very quickly sort a couple of things out ahead of kick-off, because basically what's going to be happening is I really need to kind of keep you all up to date with the fixtures that are going on. So I've got the live kind of games up. There's going to be kind of a goal rush going on, so I'll be able to tell you when all the goals are going in today. But it's going to be a busy one. Because, as I said, every team in La Liga is playing off tonight, as I said, with the table and how it currently stands. Real Madrid, if they do win tonight, they're guaranteed to take the title no matter what. That's the first time in 3 years that Real Madrid have won La Liga. As for Barcelona, you could say it's a little bit of a bottle in terms of the title. They were in the lead by quite a decent amount of points. I think it was 6 points. They were actually ahead of Real Madrid at one point this season. They're now 4 points behind them. So maybe, of course, even tonight, if they draw, it means that Real Madrid have won the title. If they don't win tonight and Villarreal do take all the 3 points, Barcelona, of course, they need to win their game to might is the very important word here to say. It might not necessarily be enough here to get the points on the board, but of course the teams will have to find out as the games do go on. And I'm dropping frames here, which is slightly annoying. Virgin Media not doing me the right job tonight, but hopefully we can keep cracking on here and the frames don't keep dropping, which they're dropping quite badly right now. I'm just going to see if there is anything on in the background maybe I can get rid of. Welcome to the stream, Chris Welch. How are we doing? Hope you're all good today. Thank you very much for joining the stream. As I said, apologies if I do drop frames tonight. Virgin Media, shittest company on the planet. If anybody from Virgin Media was watching this, middle finger to you. Your company is terrible. But yeah, it's going to be a great night of action. Everything kicks off in 6 minutes' time. Bloody lagging, I can see right now on my screen. I just want to very quickly check here and see how the stream's looking, because I feel like maybe we're dropping quite a bit of frames here, which honestly is a bit of a problem, because I did actually want to go live and do some stuff with FIFA on Friday. Big stream there, but actually we don't seem too bad. We seem alright. There we go. So it will drop frames a little bit throughout the night. I do apologise about that, but what can you do when a company like Virgin Media is so shit at giving the internet? C3PO is back. Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a problem. It's not good for me, because Virgin Media, we've had problems with it now for the last couple of days, and I don't know where the problems have come from, because it's been pretty good for the last couple of weeks, but kind of these last few days it's just gone to pot, and doesn't seem to want to working necessarily really well at all. But it's dropping frames like every 5 minutes, which is really annoying, but we'll crack on. We'll keep going. As I said, some big games coming up tonight, not just at the top of the table, and most importantly as well at the bottom of the table too. There's some big clashes. Of course, that relegation battle is still not sorted out, necessarily speaking, as of yet. Espanyol, they face off against Valencia. They're already relegated this season, so now it is just a case of trying to keep some pride and picking up as many points as they possibly can. But as for the other teams down there are 4 teams still left fighting it out for relegation this season. That is Mallorca. They face off against Granada tonight. That's a great game to watch. Mallorca picking up a couple of decent wins here and there towards the end of the season, but it might not be enough to keep them up now. Granada there towards the middle section of the table. They're 10th right now, 50 points. What a season they've had. They're actually still within a shout of getting a European spot, dependent on results elsewhere tonight. Leganes, they also face off against Athletic Bilbao. They're towards the top end of the table. Bilbao in 8th place this season. As for Leganes, they're in 18th. On 32 points. And then the 2 teams that are still fighting above them but have kind of a bit of a leeway to the rest of the sides. That is Alaves, which Alaves are facing off tonight against Real Betis. Real Betis in 14th, not had the greatest of seasons at all, Real Betis, but they have actually just signed Manuel Pellegrini as their brand new manager for next season. So going to be interesting to see how they do in La Liga as of next season. And of course, Celta Vigo as well. They've been struggling towards the bottom end of the table for quite a large period of the season. They're still down there. Still a bit of a slight worry that maybe they could get relegated. But with 4 points, they're actually 4 points ahead of Leganes, who were in 18th. They've got a great game tonight as they face off against Levante, who are in 12th place. A decent season for Levante indeed, but a lot of work to be done next season for both sides if they want to progress up the table. So they're the games that kick off in 3 minutes' time. I'm going to have to say this a lot tonight. I do apologise about the internet problems. It might get a little bit laggy at times tonight, just because it's really bad connection wise. Virgin Media once again, fucking frames are going, which is really annoying, but we're going to have to soldier on through it, and if it does get really bad, then I'll kind of flip over to StreamYard. But to be quite frankly honest, anything I do right now, he's not working, and the connection has been terrible. Feels like final day in La Liga. Well, that's the thing. It's not necessarily speaking the final day today, but it is kind of the final day in a way, because dependent on results tonight, we might know who's actually won the title and who's down anyway, because, of course, there's a 4 points difference between Celta Vigo and Alaves at the bottom. So if they win tonight and the other teams don't, then we already know who's been relegated and who will have actually won the title tonight. So it'll be interesting to see what does happen across all the games in Spain. So keep your eyes out, because throughout all of this lag and problems, I will soldier on as much as I can. I'm going to keep you up to date with all of those scores. There's already actually been a game that has finished tonight. As you can see in the top left-hand corner, SD Eibar and Valladolid have actually already played off. Great game of football. A 3-1 victory for SD Eibar, who have had a bit of a poor season, necessarily speaking. They've been towards the kind of higher ends of the La Liga table this season. They're now in 13th with that victory. As for Valladolid, well, Valladolid, as you would technically call them, it doesn't matter what happens now. They are safe. They can't get relegated. Now it is just a case of trying to pick up as many points as these sides possibly can and improve their score tallies and points. All networks are useless. Yeah, it's the best way of putting it, isn't it? All networks are useless, but it's not necessarily been a major problem for me these last couple of weeks. Virgin Media, it's been all right. It's been good, but what's been the major problem is these last couple of days. It's just kind of just shat the bed. And I don't know why it shat the bed. And I think I might know what the kind of issue is. But, of course, as I said, there's not really much I can do about it right now. So I'm going to get everything ready. 2 seconds here. Of course, the most important game tonight is Real Madrid versus Villarreal. That's why it is in the middle of the screen. Just so you guys can kind of know what's happening. And it is 8 o'clock, of course. Games are about to kick off, so we will get the timer started here. We are underway with some of the matches, and we'll keep you up to date with everything that is going on, of course. What I am watching tonight necessarily isn't the La Liga stream of the Real Madrid game. I'm actually kind of hopping throughout all of the games tonight. If you don't kind of have access to Premier Sport, today they're doing a bit of kind of like a Super Saturday for La Liga, where they have one of the channels looking at every single game, and when the goals go in, you kind of see what's going on. But we are underway with games. Most importantly, they are outlining the most important match in La Liga today, and that is Real Madrid versus Villarreal. And what a great chance this is tonight for Real Madrid to take the points and most importantly win the title for the first time in 3 years. It's a big game of football, this one. Villarreal, of course, they dropped points against Barcelona a couple of weeks ago and actually lost last week against Real Sociedad. A disappointing set of results for the away side today, and they desperately need to get points because, of course, if we do have actually the title race and the relegation battle finished, we are going to still have the fight for the European spot still going on, as it currently stands for the European spots right now. 5th place Villarreal with 57 points. 6th place Getafe with 54 points. Real Sociedad, that big victory against Villarreal, means that they do go up to 54 points as well. So it's really tight down there. And if Villarreal drop points tonight and Getafe and Real Sociedad do win, we are going to have 3 sides on 57 points. They've all got pretty similar goal differences apart from Getafe. In fact, Villarreal and Real Sociedad are both on 47 goals in terms of goal difference. So it's going to be very interesting to find out what happens tonight. In terms of the game, they are highlighting the Real Madrid match. As of right now, it's actually Villarreal on the front foot with a decent little bit of an opportunity, but nothing into the back of the net as of yet. A lot of people will be using it, that's why as well. Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of people using it, but that's not the problem. It's been okay for weeks now, so it's not a case of people using it necessarily, because if it was a lot of people using it, then it would have been a problem like this for weeks, but I think I know what the problem is anyway, so I'm going to try and sort it out, because as I said, we've got a couple of streams I want to do on Twitch from Friday, so I kind of need to get it ready for Friday night, but I'll have to see what I can sort out for that. But as it currently stands, all the games are underway as it currently is. big matches going on across the league. As I said, they are highlighting today the most important match, which is Real Madrid versus Villarreal. But don't you worry, I will keep you up to date with all of the goals as they do go in over the next hour and a half. Of course, I do apologise about the internet problems. We might have an opportunity for in the Getafe and Atletico Madrid game. As I said, they're kind of spinning through all the matches, but 2 minutes in, we've had no early goals. There is just a bit of an injury break in this match between Getafe and Atletico Madrid. A bit of a bad injury there, I think, to Portillo. And, of course, Getafe right now, as they currently stands, trying to fight for that European spot, hoping that Villarreal will drop points tonight and they can beat what is going to be a very, very tricky game against Atletico Madrid, of course. For Atletico Madrid, their third guaranteed a Champions League spot now. So no matter what for them, their season is pretty much over. But they could try and get as many points as they can across the board. So a good chance here, about 25 yards out. Could potentially see here an opportunity for Getafe to take the lead and open the scoring here in the first La Liga game. Of course, every game is going on apart from Eibar versus Valladolid, which finished about half an hour ago, maybe a little bit less. So an opportunity here for Atletico Madrid, 25 yards out. Yannick Carrasco is the only one standing over this for now. He's just dropping the ball down. Just doesn't like, yeah. That's probably the best way to say it. Virgin Media doesn't like me as much as I don't like them. But Yannick Carrasco is stepping up here, about 25 yards out from the edge of the box. Could be the first opportunity here for Atletico Madrid to get the first goal in the Liga. He's going to take it. He's gone for it, and it's hit the wall. And that is the first major opportunity of that game between Getafe and Atletico Madrid, which has just gone wide. But as it currently stands, all of the scores, we're into the first kind of 4 minutes, maybe 5 in some games. It's 0-0 right now. No early goals, of course. The pressure is on the majority of sides tonight. Barcelona, they desperately need to win and just pray Real Madrid drop points. Mallorca, they need to beat Granada. Celta Vigo need to beat Levante. And of course, that game between Sociedad and Sevilla is a really big one as well, because Sociedad are fighting for the European spots too. We're now moving over to Real Betis versus Alaves. First opportunity here, just on the edge of the box for Real Betis. A set piece, bobbled on the line, and I think we might have the first goal for of the Liga, actually. I'm just trying to see here. I think a goal has just gone in, and it hasn't actually. It's been ruled out, and well, a set piece for Real Betis, just on the edge of the box. Borja Iglesias, of all people, of course, the Spanish striker, right on the edge of the box there to tap an opportunity home, but he was offside when he initially pounced the ball into the back of the net. So Real Betis did think that they had the first goal of La Liga today in the back of the net, but it's been ruled for offside, and of course it's back to 0-0 in that match. From 24th of July, I'll have to wear face masks at work. My reaction was like Roy Keane. Reaction to Jamie Carragher not putting Giggs in combined 11. Hey, you need to get yourself a Liverpool face mask. Why not? Why not, Chris? Get yourself a Liverpool face mask. But if you do enjoy the stream today, it would be greatly appreciated if you do leave a like and a subscription. As always, we've had a lot of brand new subscribers on the channel quite recently. It's greatly appreciated for everybody that has joined the channel. I'm going to be doing another one of these watch-alongs next week, depending on the results today, of course. If everything is pretty much done, then there's no point of doing one next week, but I think I'll do one anyway. And, well, Osasuna have just had the first opportunity of the game against Barcelona. 5 minutes into that one, and a long-range strike there, which nearly went into the back of the net, and that would have been an interesting scoreline, of course. Osasuna doing quite well this season, mid-table. Barcelona, they've just got to win no matter what now, because any dropped points today will be very, very costly indeed. Of course, it would pretty much just give Real Madrid the title, even if they were to lose against Villarreal today. But where we are, a couple of minutes into the matches. Any news on Neymar? Not as of current right now, Ryan, but welcome to the stream. As far as I'm aware, if you're talking about any kind of rumours about Neymar going to Barcelona or anything, nothing as far as I'm aware. I don't think he will ever go back to Barcelona. If you don't know, there was a contractual situation that went to court with Barcelona and Neymar, actually, where Neymar did have to kind of spend, I think, 16 million euros or something like that in his contract. And, well, there's been another opportunity in the Barcelona game. another long shot, this time from Clement Lenglet of Barcelona, the French centre-back, quite far out. I'd say about 30 yards out from goal, and it wasn't necessarily an effort that was too far away from goal, but a good chance for either side to open the scoring there. But we are 7 minutes in, 0-0 as it currently stands in all of the games. But I kind of want to highlight a couple of the important matches. Luis Suarez today on the bench for Barcelona, which is an interesting choice. Busquets on the bench as well. Of course, it really is now out of Barcelona's hands here today for the title. Pretty much whatever happens is out of their hands. Even if they win, they've got to rely on Real Madrid dropping points, and they've got to lose pretty much against Villarreal for there to be any form of hope of Barcelona maybe nicking this right at the death. And to be honest, if you are a Barcelona fan, you are looking at it this season and thinking it's probably one of the most biggest bottles. Not necessarily the biggest bottle in the world in terms of dropping points, but a big bottle in the way that, with the way that La Liga is, it's very hard for teams like Real Madrid and Barcelona to drop points, because you would expect them to pick up, 3 points left, right and centre, and, big losses and draws. We saw the game against Atletico Madrid a couple of weeks ago where Barcelona did drop points against them, that 2-2 draw where Atletico Madrid didn't really do much all game, but they still picked up a very important point against Barcelona, and it's little results like that have gone not their way and has left them in a really precarious position to win the title. That game is 8 minutes in, of course. As it currently stands, the Real Madrid game is the one that's furthest in right now. I think that's actually nearly kind of 10 minutes in, of course. The timer in the bottom left-hand corner, as you can currently see, is the timer for the Real Madrid game. Some of these games will be a little bit further behind than others, but that means, of course, we will be going on for a little bit longer than the Real Madrid game, because there are still important battles to be done across the rest of the league. Will be a few Mallorca fans and Celta Vigo fans maybe biting their nails, hoping that their sides can pick up very, very important 3 points today. Of course, it isn't just all about the top end of the table. The bottom end is still quite tight. 4 teams, remember, fighting today to try and survive. If the 4 teams all win, then it means that the 2 teams that are left towards the bottom of the table, which as it currently stands would be Mallorca and Leganés, would be relegated anyway, because they'd have a 4 points difference behind the rest. But if Leganés and Mallorca could pick up points tonight and Vigo and Alaves drop points, then it does mean the relegation battle will go to the last game of the season. However, if Celta Vigo and Alaves win, of course, as I said before, it means it's all over anyway. But, of course, there are plenty of complexions to what can happen tonight across the La Liga action. Real Madrid with an opportunity here in the game. Modric just with a cross into the box for Karim Benzema, who doesn't get the right connection on the ball. And he could have put them 1-0 up there. Unfortunately, he hasn't. But we're 11 minutes into this nearly. 10.5 minutes technically. Sergio Ramos with a free kick into the edge of the box, trying to get it towards Karim Benzema, who has been absolutely outstanding this season for Real Madrid. A real quality player on his day. And if you are one of the watchers of the podcast, you will know how much we've talked about Benzema this season and praised him for how good he's been. Of course, when you lose a big player like Cristiano Ronaldo, it's always going to be tough to replace him. And technically, Benzema wasn't even a replacement because he's been there for a couple of years now. So they didn't have to technically, of course, replace the striker. They did bring in Eden Hazard, but Benzema's been the main player this season. Really shining as a player, and it's fantastic to see because I think a lot of players know how good Benzema is, and even fans of Real Madrid will know how great the French striker is, but of course nothing there. But we do have our first goal of the day, and you're probably wondering who the first goal has gone to. And well, if you are a Celta Vigo fan, I would highly suggest looking away right now, because as it currently stands, Levante have just taken the lead in that game. We have our first goal, and it's Enis Badri, the Moroccan midfielder, who has just put Levante to our first goal of the day has arrived. And as it currently stands, it is Levante 1, Celta Vigo 0. And there we go. We're updating it. I might be a little bit slow with the updates, but of course, I'll keep them coming as we go along. Every game is live tonight, so I'm going to cover all of the games as they go on. But Celta Vigo 0, Levante 1. It's the worst start possible for Celta Vigo. Remember, as I said, realistically speaking, they just want to go and win the game tonight. No doubt there'll be other teams like Mallorca who will be looking at this result potentially if it stays like this at half-time and trying to push on, because remember, if Mallorca can pick up points tonight, or some of the other teams, Vigo could be in a last-day relegation battle, which is certainly surprising for a team of Celta Vigo's quality. Got some class players, including the likes of Iago Aspas. But we have another opportunity here in a different game. This time it's Getafe versus Atletico Madrid. Of course, Getafe fighting for the European spots. Atletico Madrid, the season is done right now. And Amaribi, the Uruguayan midfielder, right on the edge of the box there. A foul from Diego Costa. He's going to whip this one in. And if Getafe can take the lead here... Oh, well, I tell you what, they very, very nearly did. And Ndiaye, the winger, just on the left-hand side of the field, nearly backheeled that into the back of the net. And Getafe almost went into the lead in this one. And a great chance there. He's gone down in the box, and I don't know whether the referee was thinking about giving a penalty there to Getafe. He hasn't indeed, and the opportunity does go wide. But good chance goes wide. Getafe still 0-0 in that game. In terms of the other games right now, we are still waiting for goals elsewhere. We've had our first goal in La Liga today. That came from Enis Badri. Levante, of course, going 1-0 up in that match. So as it currently stands, Levante would still stay in 12th place on 45 points. Sorry, 46 points actually, not 45. And we've had another goal. And, well, I don't know whether this one's going to count or not. I'm just going to wait a second. But... just as I've been talking about Levante, it might be 2-0 to them. That is a big goal in that game, and I think they're just checking right now with VAR for an offside decision potentially here. I'm not going to update it until it's been officially announced what's happening, but Levante might be 2-0 up here against Celta Vigo. And as I said, the referee is just checking here for a potential offside decision. So this might not count. And just looking at it now, I think it's going to be classed as an offside there. The winger just offside when he's crossed the ball in. I think it was De Blasis, the Argentinian, right on the left-hand side of the field to cross it in. And I think his left foot was just offside. So I don't think that one is going to count, necessarily speaking here. The referee just taking a moment to make the decision. And the goal has been disallowed. So it isn't 2-0 to Levante. They thought they've really put Celta Vigo to the sword there. And unfortunately, it's back to 1-0 again in that game. So a goal disallowed there. But Celta Vigo, what a bad start for them here. They could have been 2-0 down in this one. Worrying times if you are a Celta Vigo fan. Of course, very lucky there to not go 2-0 down. Of course, I'm going to be drinking quite a bit. And once again, if you are watching live and you're wanting to keep up to date with the scores, apologies if it does lag very slightly. A British company, when they make Wi-Fi, called Virgin Media, aren't really good. And there is a surprise goal that has just gone in, and you probably wouldn't expect where it's gone, because there is one team that has just gone 1-0 down, and that could be a massive goal in the title race. Because it's not the team you would have expected to. Look at this in a second. Because there is a certain team that might just give the title without even scoring. Because as it currently stands, Barcelona are 1-0 down to Osasuna. Well, this could be a big goal indeed in this game. 16 minutes in, it's a really poor mistake at the back. And Jose has just blasted that into the back of the net for Osasuna, and just like that, Barcelona are 1-0 down against Osasuna, and that is a big goal, because remember, if Real Madrid draw or win that game against Villarreal, the title will be going back to Los Blancos, and that is a big goal. Are Barcelona about to gift Real Madrid the title in the second to last game. And 16 minutes in, second goal has gone in. Barcelona 0, Osasuna 1. A surprising start, 16 minutes in, and what a lovely, lovely effort from Jose. A half volley just inside of the box. And as it currently stands, it means Real Madrid are on 84 points. Barcelona would be on 79 points, which means that would be the title over and done with, even if Real Madrid were to lose against Villarreal in their match. So very, very interesting in that game, of course, to see. And we've had another goal as well. Valencia have gone 1-0 up against Espanyol, of course. Valencia have had a bit of a dismal end to the season. They aren't probably going to get European football now. They've had a couple of problems in the background at the club. But they have gone 1-0 up against Espanyol, who are already relegated, of course. They did finish 7th last season. And the goal scorer in this match is, in fact, Kevin Gamero, the Frenchman. You will remember him, of course, the veteran formerly of Sevilla back in the days of when they were dominating in the Europa League. So it's Valencia 1, Espanyol 0, and the goals look like, fingers crossed, they're starting to fly in across the league. And well, Espanyol, what a dismal season it's been. As I said before, already relegated, and it's really been a sad, sad story for them. Finished 7th last season, gone into the Europa League, had a really, really tough game against Wolves, which they, of course, lost in the Europa League round of 16, and now they're 1-0 down to Valencia. And as I said, their season is over. It's just playing for pride, and it's a lovely, lovely finish from Gamero. He's one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and he curls it right into the back of the net. It's a fantastic finish from a player that doesn't really get enough time, you could say, at Valencia. Still got the pace, which is great to see from the veteran, you could call him now, the Frenchman. And Valencia 1-0 to the good, so we've had a couple more goals go in. In terms of the Real Madrid-Villarreal game, as it currently stands, we are just about 20 minutes into this one. It is still 0-0. Real Madrid dominating in that game. Not in terms of possession, Villarreal with 51% of that, but in terms of opportunities on goal, Villarreal haven't had a single shot as of yet in that game. As for Real Madrid, they've had 6 shots, 3 on target. So 0-0. 20 minutes into these games, we're about halfway through, which is crazy to say as it currently stands. If you are watching along, welcome to the stream. If you are enjoying it, it'd be greatly, greatly appreciated if you do leave a like. In terms of the scores right now, Barcelona 0, Osasuna 1. Shocking result as it currently stands. Jose with a half volley inside of the box to put Osasuna into the lead. Celta Vigo 0, Levante 1. Celta Vigo, they need the points today to try and fight for survival. Levante could have actually been 2-0 up in that game. They're currently 1-0 up, courtesy of Enis Badri, the midfielder. And then Valencia 1, Espanyol 0. We said, of course, a moment ago, that goal coming from the Frenchman, Kevin Gamero. So, if you are new to the stream, do tell me in the comments below who you think are going to win the games. And if you are actually a La Liga supporter, do tell me who you think, who the team you support is as well. Because it'd be quite nice to see the different teams that people support in the chat. And we've had another goal, and what a big goal this is, because I tell you what, we just spoke about Celta Vigo really needing to pick up the points today. It might be very costly as it stands, because Mallorca have just taken the lead against Granada, and that is a massive, massive goal in the relegation battle, because what it now means is that Mallorca would in fact go to 35 points and be 1 point behind Alaves and Celta Vigo. So the pressure is on, but Levante have taken the lead in that one. And the goal in that game, sorry, Mallorca have taken the lead, not Levante. Hernandez, the Colombian striker, has put Mallorca into the lead, and that is a big, big goal. They're dominating that game right now. They've had 4 shots for on target, and they're 1-0 to the good. So a big, big goal in the relegation battle, but can they hold on? That's the question. Of course, we'll find out over the next kind of 70 minutes. We've still got about 25 minutes to go until half-time of these fixtures. Let me just turn that on. There we go. We're now back to the Barcelona game. There is a free kick just on the edge of the box here. Lionel Messi, about 20 yards, about 25 yards actually, I would say, from goal. And of course, Barcelona here, they desperately need to get a goal in this game to put them back on track. They're 1-0 down to Osasuna as it currently stands. This needs to go in the back of the net, and Messi takes it, and it's just clipped the bar. So a good opportunity there from the Argentine, who has had a great season. Of course, one of the only players in the last generation. In fact, there's only been 2 players to get 20 goals and 20 assists in the recent generations, and that is, of course, Thierry Henry and now Lionel Messi, who has got onto the score sheet as well in the last couple of match weeks to give him 20 goals and 20 assists. That's great to see for Barcelona. But not great for Barcelona right now is they're still 1-0 down against Osasuna, who, if they can pick up a result today, what a fantastic way to end the season. Of course, we've still got another match day to go, but if you can get a big win against Barcelona, that is a great way to end your season. Because not only will you have just destroyed their title hopes, but you will have just gifted as well Real Madrid the title. Of course, the La Liga title races not necessarily gone down to the last game of the season. We do still have another round of fixtures to come. They do actually come on Sunday night, but everything could be pretty much sorted out by then, depending on results today. But Mallorca really going for it here. They, of course, want to win today, because if they do win today, it will mean that the title race will go down to the very last game, which would be fantastic to see indeed if that was to happen. And now I've actually got up a live La Liga table as well, so I can kind of look at the table as it currently stands. So Leganes, they drop into 19th if it stays 0-0 in their game. Mallorca, they're up to 18th. Celta Vigo drop down into 17th, 1 point above the relegation spot as it currently stands. As for Valencia, their goal means they move up into 8th place, 2 points away from a 7th placed European spot. Remember, of course, it will go to 7th in there as it currently stands. Villarreal, Getafe and Real Sociedad occupying the 3 Europa League spots. As for the Champions League, it's all sorted now. Real Madrid, Barcelona, Atletico Madrid and Sevilla have already got the Champions League spots no matter what. And there might be a sending off in the Bilbao game. And well, this is a big decision because Bilbao have just had their goalkeeper sent off. Unai Simon has come running out of his goal, clipped a Leganes player, and the goalkeeper is off. So if you're a Bilbao fan right now, 20 minutes into this one, Unai Simon has been sent off the field, and Bilbao are down to 10 men. A big decision there, and the goalkeeper's been sent off. Just looking back at the replay there, Sevilla need Unai Emery back. Good evening. What a nice man, always polite, saying good evening. Oh, well, maybe one day. Maybe one day he'll return, but just looking at this opportunity now, it's absolutely a red card. Doesn't even get a touch of the ball. It goes through his legs, and it's the right decision. So Bilbao down to 10 men, sending off there, and that's the goalkeeper going off. And of course, a big decision there, which means a lot of work to be done for Bilbao. Especially, they're going to have to take an on-field player off here, and bring on a goalkeeper to make sure they can keep the game running nice and smoothly, if they have got a goalkeeper on the bench, which you would expect them to. So a big decision there, but no other goals have gone in so far. Still a little bit gone a little bit quiet now. Kind of just looking here at the Getafe game, a pretty decent long-range effort from Getafe there, and Oblak with a good save. So they've got a corner here. Maybe they can open the score, and of course, if Getafe do get the 3 points today, they're going to be in great position to reclaim a spot in the Europa League. Of course, they're actually still currently in the Europa League, got a single-legged fixture against a very tricky side in Inter Milan to come up in August time, so that's going to be a very good game to watch when that does take place next month. But they've got another free kick just on the edge of the box, Getafe, as it currently stands. It is still 0-0 in that game. For those of you that want to keep out, Real Madrid is still 0-0, 26 minutes into that one. No shots since I last spoke about it. We'll kind of go through every game here. So Barcelona 0, Osasuna 1. Fantastic effort from just inside the box, a half volley to put Osasuna into the lead. So no matter what happens, even if Real Madrid were to lose right now, it would pretty much claim them the title pretty much. Mallorca 1, Granada 0. Big goal for Mallorca as they try to fight for survival. Celta Vigo 0, Levante 1. Celta Vigo, they have to win today, considering Mallorca in the lead right now. Sociedad 0, Sevilla 0. Of course, both sides Well, Sevilla aren't fighting for anything now, but Sociedad do need the 3 points today if they want to get into the Europa League spots. Real Betis 0, Alaves 0, goalless there. Other games that are goalless as well. Getafe Atletico Madrid, Bilbao Leganes, Bilbao down to 10 men, and Real Madrid 0, Villarreal 0. But of course, Real Madrid fans will not be fussed either way right now because Barcelona are losing, and they will be delighted no matter what if Barcelona still do keep a 1-0 score against Osasuna. So Bilbao, they have made a change, of course, as you would expect them to do, bringing on a goalkeeper. They're down to 10 men, a lot of work for them to do now. Of course, they're still within a shout of actually getting a European spot. They're only 8th in the league. It's technically, 9th now as it stands. 3 points off a European spot, so they do need to go and win this game tonight and hope that Real Sociedad draw or drop points against Sevilla, because then it does mean that it will go down to the last day of the season for the Europa League spots. And they also need Getafe to drop points as well, because if Getafe drop points against Atletico Madrid tonight, then it does mean that Valencia, Bilbao, and potentially... Actually, no, Osasuna wouldn't be able to make it in, unfortunately. I was about to say maybe Osasuna could have got into the Europa League spots, but they are a couple of points shy of the rest of the table. So it could be a fight towards the end of the season for the Europa League spots. It all depends on how the other games do go across the league. In terms of the other games, there still hasn't been any other goals right now. The other game that did go on, as you can see in the top left, is Eibar and Valladolid. That was played off a little bit earlier today. A big 3-1 win there for SD Eibar, who are towards the middle end of the table, so it doesn't really matter what happens. But we've got a chance here for Real Madrid. Benzema has put Real Madrid into the lead. Big goal. I don't know whether it's going to count or not. It does indeed count, and that is the goal that has been desperately wanted by Real Madrid fans, because they are now in the lead, and that is a big goal. And as I was saying before, it is the Frenchman who has done so good this season with his 20th La Liga goal, and that is 1-0 to Real Madrid. And just looking at the goal now, it was a counter-attack. Luka Modric with a fantastic assist into Benzema, and it's a first-time shot. Benzema is not going to miss opportunities like that. So 1-0, Real Madrid, and that would definitely mean they would claim the title quite comfortably as well. In fact, to give you an idea of how comfortable it would be, they would actually have an 8-point lead over Barcelona, I think, in terms of that. I don't think BBC's actually updated their score table as of yet. There we go. They would have a 7-point lead over Barcelona if it does stay 1-0 to Osasuna in that game. So Real Madrid fans, they'll be partying just before the half-an-hour mark in that game. They have gone 1-0 up. Big result for them if they can claim it tonight, of course. It's been a couple of years since they claimed the La Liga title, so they will no doubt desperately tonight want to bring that back to Los Blancos. And well, we might have had another goal here, and Levante has gone 2-0 up, I think. And it's a certain someone who we was talking about earlier, and well, it just goes from bad to worse for Celta Vigo, because Enis Badri is on the score sheet. He's on the score sheet once again. It's 2-0 to Levante. And well, Celta Vigo, what a horrible mess they've got themselves into. 2-0 down as it currently stands. And if results do not go their way, of course Mallorca are leading right now in their fixture against Granada, then it would mean Celta Vigo are going to be scrapping right till the end of the season. The very last game could be the decider for relegation. And Enis Badri, what a game he's having here. 2 goals for him in just under 28 minutes. What a start for the Moroccan midfielder, who points to the sky for his celebration. And what a fantastic goal that was. So 2-0 to Levante. Big goal for them. And of course, in terms of the game for Levante, there's nothing to really play for. They are, of course, in the middle of the table. Celta Vigo, another goal goes into the back of the net. And well, if Leganes can win their game, which Leganes are playing against Bilbao, who are down to 10 men, then it is going to be a battle towards the end of the season, potentially. But we've got a free kick here for Barcelona. We are now above the 30-minute mark in these games, and it's another chance for Messi, probably about 27 yards out here. And if there was one person who you'd hope could put this into the back of the net and really put pressure on Real Madrid, it is Messi. And it's a little bit too high there, and the ball does go out of play for a goal kick. And well, it doesn't look like it's going to be Barcelona's day today at all. Currently 1-0 down to Osasuna with a lot of work to do. Of course, they are still relying on Villarreal to nick points today and try and steal what would be a shock win against Real Madrid to take the title towards the end of the season. But we do have a drinks break now, so I'll keep you up to date with all of the scores. I think most games will have actually gone to drinks breaks. So as it currently stands, we're half an hour in. Barcelona 0, Osasuna 1. Big result potentially for Osasuna. Jose with a half volley from just inside of the box. Mallorca, well, they'll be delighted right now. Hernandez, the Colombian striker, has opened the scoring in that game, which means Mallorca in a great position to potentially try and get out of the relegation spots if results do go elsewhere their way, which they are going their way right now because Levante are 2-0 up against Celta Vigo. Enis Bardi, the Moroccan midfielder, 2 goals in that game in half an hour. He could have potentially had a hat-trick already in that match, which is absolutely unbelievable. Shocking start for Celta Vigo today. Real Sociedad 0, Sevilla 0. It's been a pretty tight game there. There's only actually been one shot in half an hour so far, none on target. Real Betis 0, Alaves 0. Alaves with not a great deal of possession. In fact, Real Betis have already had 77% possession in this game. There's a lot of work for Alaves to do. Valencia 1, Espanyol 0. Kevin Gamero, the veteran Frenchman, with the goal in that game. Could Valencia maybe nick a European spot late on? Getafe 0, Atletico Madrid 0. 2 of the better sides in the league this season are tied for goals right now, waiting for that first opportunity to strike in that game. Real Madrid 1, Villarreal 0. Benzema with that goal, his 20th of the season, which means if they do win, of course, that will be the title. And Bilbao 0, Leganes 0. The goalkeeper was sent off for Bilbao towards about the 25th minute mark. So Bilbao are actually down to 10 men as it currently stands. Big chance there for Leganes maybe to nick some points and really take the title race right down to the wire in this relegation battle. What the hell am I talking about? Maybe Leganes one day will fight for the title, but not anytime soon, because Real Madrid, of course, tonight, they will be absolutely delighted in the streets of Madrid if they can win tonight's game of football against Villarreal, which they currently are. As I said, of course, Benzema with that 20th goal of the season for him. Barcelona, 35 minutes on the clock. They have got a corner. It looks like they've been dominating stats-wise and possession-wise, but Osasuna, they won't care right now. They're 1-0 to the good. All happy, of course, with how it's gone so far. It's lofted into the box and it's very quickly dispersed out of the box for another corner. Could Barcelona maybe here get an equalising goal in this game and take it to Osasuna, of course? For Barcelona, if they do lose or draw tonight, then it doesn't matter either way because, of course, Real Madrid will take the title and the season will pretty much be done and over. They have to win this game and just pray that Villarreal can do something, which, as of right now, Villarreal, 36 minutes in, still haven't had a single shot in the game, so it kind of tells you the story of the Real Madrid match so far. But there is a corner here for Barcelona. It's lofted into the box, and it's very quickly cleared away again. So there is actually going to be another corner here for Barcelona. So that's 3 corners in quick succession, and what a game Osasuna's had today. But they'll be absolutely delighted with this first half, and this is their 5th corner, Barcelona, already in the first half. Of course, they've just had kind of 2 in quick succession. Is it third time lucky? That's the question. It's lofted in, and it's at the back post. It's cleared away, and we have had another goal. And well, Celta Vigo will not back down. It's 2-1 in that game. Could they maybe make a comeback? And they desperately do need to. Former Valencia man, now Celta Vigo striker, Santi Mina, has brought them potentially a lifeline in that game. So it's 2-1, 36 minutes in. It's probably going to be a very, very interesting final 10 minutes of the first half, but it's 2-1. Levante still with the lead, but Celta Vigo with what is a big, big goal for them, of course. They just need to pick up any points at this stage of the season to really, really, improve their hopes for survival. So 2-1 there, and that looks like it's the game of the day so far. Celta Vigo could have actually already been 3-0 down. One of the goals was ruled out for offside, and just looking at the replay now for Santi Mina's goal, and Levante really, really poor there, and even Levante's manager right now looking a little bit fuming with his side. Celta Vigo with that lifeline. It's in fact Santi Mina's first goal, apparently it says, of La Liga this season, which I don't think it is. I think he's scored more than one. But it comes from a corner. He's there at the back post to smash it into the back of the net. And Celta Vigo desperately needed that lifeline. And 35 minutes on the clock, 2-1. It's going to be a very, very enthralling end to the first half. And of course, what a beginning to the second half it could be if they can get back in that match. So 2-1 there. Have we had any goals elsewhere? Of course, if you are new to the stream, it'd be greatly appreciated if you do leave a like and a subscription as always, because we're not just going to be doing these La Liga watch-alongs the last day of the Premier League season. All of the Sports Corner team are going to be available for that, so keep your eyes out for that watch-along coming up next Sunday. Not this Sunday, next Sunday on the 26th in 10 days' time. As for the other stuff on the channel as well, there might be another La Liga watch-along on Sunday for the final match day of the season. And then in terms of watch-alongs as well, we've got a big, big set of watch-alongs to come. Every game, every goal, every moment. 26 games will be covered over the space of a couple of weeks in August time as we cover every match in the Europa League and the Champions League. So if you want to keep up to date and you don't have access to those matches, or you just want to see the reaction of us as we watch what could be an incredible set of fixtures in Spain, in Portugal they're being played, then keep your eyes out in August time, because we're going to be live every single night. And of course, when there are 2 games going on, you'll have the option to choose which game you want to watch live. There will be 2 streams available for you to watch if there are 2 games on each day. So let's say there is Man United playing at the same time as Inter, we'll have 2 streams available for you guys to watch. So keep your eyes out for that, because it will certainly be very, very interesting indeed to see how the Champions League goes. Of course, some games being played as single leg fixtures, some being played with double legs. Of course, they've already played their first leg, so they do have to finish their second leg. So keep your eyes out for that. That's in August time, in a couple of weeks, so it'll be good fun. And of course, the entirety of the Sports Corner team is going to be available, with some extra people on board from other podcasts as well. We're hoping to get some of the boys from the Wrestling Corner and that involved who like their football as well, so keep your eyes out for that. We haven't had any goals elsewhere. It still stays with the scorelines on the screen right now. Barcelona 1-0 down. Celta Vigo trying to hope to get a comeback against Levante 2-1 in that match. Sociedad, Getafe and Bilbao all still goalless in their games. If you are looking as well for a little bit of different content, then keep your eyes out on twitch.tv. The link is in the description. As always, we should be live on Friday night, I think, with some FIFA content. Get you guys involved, have a bit of fun, and just chill out and relax. So that is something a little bit more relaxed and different on Friday. Still football related, but not necessarily as full on as what this show can be. But still no goals anywhere right now. Real Madrid will be absolutely delighted with how it's looking right now. 86 points they currently have on top. As for Barcelona, they are currently stuck on 79 points. So even if Real Madrid were to lose today and Barcelona, the result stayed as it currently stands, then they would go on and win the title no matter what, which is great for Real Madrid. But there might be a chance for Barcelona here. Whipped a shot into the box by Nelson Semedo, and Ansu Fati trying to get towards the back post to head it in, and he just can't get it into the back of the net. And well, I don't think many people would expect a player like Ansu Fati to be heading things into the back of the net. He's not necessarily the most tallest player in the world, is he? Let's be real. In terms of how the points tallies look right now, of course the tables will have updated themselves very, very quickly here. The race for Europe looks like it could go towards the last day. Bilbao, Valencia, Real Sociedad, Getafe and Villarreal are all still in that. Villarreal pretty much looking guaranteed to get a spot anyway. It just all depends here on other results elsewhere. As for Valencia and Bilbao, they're in 8th and 9th place. Remember, 7th spot is enough to get Europa League spot in La Liga. So they will be hoping that they can pick up results, of course. Valencia are 1-0 to the good right now. Bilbao, well, they desperately need to win their game. But they're down to 10 men. They've, of course, lost a player. Unai Simon, the goalkeeper, was sent off about 20 minutes ago in that game. So they are down to 10 men. And a lot of work for them to do if they do want to try and nick a late European spot. They've kind of been on the outskirts this season of Europe. Maybe now is the time for them to squeak, push in at the last second and get a spot right at the death and really, really knock one of those teams out and shock them. The fact that they couldn't get a European spot. Take Real Sociedad, for example. If they lose tonight against Sevilla, they could really be in a dire position to get a European spot. But we've still had no goals elsewhere. They're kind of just focusing right now on the Barcelona game versus Osasuna. It's a weakened side tonight by Barcelona, which is an interesting call from the manager Quique Setien. And Real Madrid very, very nearly going 2-0 up. A really, really good ball in from the young Brazilian Rodrigo, of all players. Just a shame that nobody was there to tap his cross into the back of the net. But Karim Benzema is looking very, very dangerous tonight. Very, very dangerous. And it'll be interesting to see whether he can keep his goal scoring form next season as well, because he's such a great player on his day and I absolutely love him. Outstanding footballer. I mean, he's always been a player that consistently gets double goals and double figures for goals and that every season. Even when Ronaldo was there, he was getting double figures for goals. So it's good to see him really being able to shine at the club without having Ronaldo necessarily as the focal point of the team. But next week there's some big games going on for the relegation battle. Of course, if the title is wrapped up tonight, then realistically speaking, it doesn't matter for Real Madrid and Barcelona, but it certainly will matter for the teams down there with them, because on Sunday night, Leganes, who are down there right now fighting for survival, do actually face off against what could be the champions of La Liga, Real Madrid. So they would have to try and get some points from that game. As for Alaves, well, they got to go to actually play Barcelona, which could be a big game, especially if Barcelona lose tonight. Maybe Alaves might have a sneaky opportunity to nick another 3 points and really, really have a terrible end to the season here for Barcelona. And no doubt, I think a lot of people would be calling for Quique Setien's head if he was to lose the title tonight and then lose another game and finish what could be potentially about 10 points away from Real Madrid, when originally they were only about 2 or 3 points away a couple of weeks ago. But we've got an opportunity in the Bilbao game. Remember, Bilbao are down to 10 men in that match against Leganes. A free kick about 20 metres out from the goal. Raul Garcia, one of the players standing over this. Cordoba as well. Another one of those players who's maybe thinking about trying to squeeze this into the back of the net. Of course, Leganes do need to win tonight. As it currently stands, Mallorca getting a big result if they can hold on. So if Leganes can really, even nick a point tonight against Bilbao, it keeps them in that relegation battle race and takes it towards the last game of the season. But it's going to be taken here, 20 metres away from the goal, and it does hit the wall. So Bilbao there, of course, they need to win the game tonight as well. So it's a big game on paper, this one. Both sides have got to go for it. And talking about sides that are going for it, there has been another goal elsewhere, and I said it was going to be a very interesting kind of final 10 minutes in that game between Celta Vigo and Levante, and just like that, it changes the complexity of everything, because Celta Vigo have indeed equalised. It's 2-2 just before half-time in this one, and Iago Aspas, the man, the myth, the legend, who you would expect to come clutch at the right time, has just equalised in that game for Celta Vigo. So it's 2-2 in that match. And what a game that certainly could be there as that goes just towards half-time. And, Celta Vigo pulling off a big comeback there. 2-0 down, 29 minutes into it. They're now back level in that game. It's going to be an interesting final couple of minutes before we do go into half-time. And, of course, in the second half. It's all to play for in that match. Levante don't really have anything to play for in the league. But there's been another goal elsewhere, and if you are a Mallorca fan, look away, because it's some absolutely dreadful defending that has gifted Granada an equalising goal, and it was a lovely, lovely goal at that. It's Victor Diaz, the right back for Granada, who has just equalised in that game, and just like that, the relegation battle turns on its head once again. Victor Diaz with a goal, 1-1, Mallorca-Granada, and that changes everything up once again with the relegation battle, of course. Celta Vigo now potentially picking up a point in that game. Mallorca looking like they're actually about to... they've lost 2 points pretty much as it currently stands. So right now, as the table would look, let me just refresh to kind of have an idea of how the table would look right now. Mallorca would be back to 33 points. Leganes on 33 points. Actually, Mallorca started on 32 points today, so they have gained a point. And Alaves and Celta Vigo on 37, which would currently mean, as it stands, Mallorca and Leganes would both be relegated tonight because of Celta Vigo's equalising goal. And, well, it was a counter-attack from Iago Aspas. The goalkeeper had come running out of his goal. Fabrizio, that is, former Fulham goalkeeper, come running out of his goal. Iago Aspas with the most simple of finishes. And just like that, before half-time, Celta Vigo are level in that game, and Leganes would be going down with Mallorca, of course. A draw would not be enough right now for Mallorca. They need to win. In fact, either Leganes or Mallorca need to win this game, of course, to really push Celta Vigo down, and Alaves, of course, to the last game of the season to try and survive. But Celta Vigo do not look like they're going to back down here, and it was a lovely, lovely goal from Iago Aspas, who just ran past Fabrizio, who really came out very late for the opportunity to try and claim it from Aspas. And of course, we did see a moment ago in the Bilbao game where Unai Simon came running out of his goal and got sent off, and well, it's led to a goal in this one. Celta Vigo 2, Levante 2. Keep your eyes out on that game, because Celta Vigo and Levante are running riot with the goals. As it currently stands, they've got 3 minutes of additional time left in that game. In terms of other games elsewhere, have we had any more goals? Let's have a quick check and find out what's happening. Barcelona still 1-0 down in their match. It's 2-2. A lot of games are now actually going into their last little stages of extra kind of additional time before we go into half-time. A couple of matches now actually at half-time. Real Madrid being one of those games. Currently, as it stands, 1-0 to the good against Villarreal. Big goal, because they will be winning the league. Los Blancos are bringing the La Liga title home. So I am going to pause that for now, because a lot of these games have pretty much gone into half-time. There's only one more game still playing on, and that is Mallorca and Granada. Currently, as it stands, it is 1-1 now into the 5th minute of additional time. There was 7 minutes added on in that game, and 6 minutes added on between Bilbao and Leganes. So maybe here we might see a last-minute goal from one of these sides, just to surprise us before half-time. Maybe Mallorca can nick something here late on and, well, really put the pressure back on Celta Vigo, because they'll be going in at half-time here in Vigo, are currently drawing. Considering they were 2-0 down, and it really put the pressure on Mallorca. And Leganes as well. Both sides do need to win today, and the pressure is really on them right now. So, a couple more games still going on. Mallorca, Leganes, and Bilbao Leganes, and Mallorca against Granada still going on for the last couple of moments here. We've got kind of 2 minutes left in both games. Are we going to see a late goal in the first half here, just to kind of nick what would be a big goal for either side here? Of course, if Bilbao can nick a big goal here today, then it's going to make it much more interesting for the likes of Real Sociedad. 0-0 against Sevilla at half-time. A lot of work for them to do. They need to win no matter what, and it's a tough game because Sevilla have been absolutely outstanding this season in the league, and they've not backed down, of course, at all. They're in 4th. Got the Champions League now, guaranteed it no matter what. Got a very, very comfortable amount of points between them and 5th place. So, yeah, of course, the likes of Real Sociedad and Villarreal have got a lot of work to do next season, because this Sevilla side do look incredibly good on their day. I mean, they've been fantastic this season, and no doubt it'll be great to see them in the Champions League next season as well. Of course, they've had a little bit of time out from the Champions League. So Mallorca Granada has now gone into half-time. There is one more game going on now. It is Bilbao and Leganés coming into the last couple of seconds in this match. Bilbao down to 10 men. Leganés, of course, they've got to at least get a point. And they've got the advantage. 10-man advantage, although it was the goalkeeper being sent off. Technically, they are still missing an outfield player. And there's been a bit of a clash here between two of the players. Raul Garcia be one of those players. So that might add a little bit more additional time on here. But looking at the stats, Leganés, they've had 7 shots, only 1 on targets. They do need to improve, but it's good to see. And as you would expect, they've got to come out in the second half and really push this Bilbao side because, well, Bilbao being down to 10 men, it's not going to be easy for them. And if you can win this game, you pretty much do kind of end Bilbao's hopes of getting into Europe, of course. Bilbao have kind of been one of those sides that do linger around the top 10 spots and do get into Europe every couple of seasons. Can they do it late on and really, really surprise the likes of Sociedad and the likes of Getafe as well? But that game has now gone into half-time, so all the games are now at half-time in La Liga. So as it currently stands across the board in Spain, we've had some really interesting games, but a couple of goalless ones as well. It is right now Barcelona 0, Osasuna 1. Jose with a fantastic half volley just inside of the box to put Osasuna in a bit of a surprising lead right now. So big result for them if they can hold on. Of course, Barcelona are quite dominant in this match. 8 shots, none on target right now for Barcelona. So a very poor game of football for them. Mallorca 1, Granada 0. Hernandez put Mallorca into the lead. Big game that would have been for them if they could have kept 1-1. Victor Diaz, though, at half-time, getting back in that one. There we go. So, just a bit of light in the room. Apologies about that. It's a little bit dark in here. So, 1-1 at half-time in that game. Victor Diaz, fantastic finish to put his side back level. Of course, Granada were within an outside kind of hope of getting a European spot, but that looks to be pretty much done and dusted now for them, so they can't get anything there. Celta Vigo 2, Levante 2. Standout game right now. Levante went 2-0 up. Enis Bardi, the midfielder, 2 goals in the space of 17 minutes to put his side 2-0 to the good. They could have actually been 3-0 up. Bardi could have had a hat-trick in this game already. But Celta Vigo, they're fighting to survive, and, well, they're doing it in absolute style. Santimina, 36 minutes in with the with the goal to put them back into the game before Iago Aspas on the 2nd minute of additional time in the first half puts them at level. So that is going to be a very, very interesting second half to come in that game. Keep your eyes out on that one if you do want a goal fest potentially. Real Sociedad 0, Sevilla 0. Been a bit of a boring game there. 4 shots overall, only 2 on target. Both sides, I think, not doing too good there, but I think Real Sociedad would be quite happy with a point. Tough game against Sevilla. They are at home, though, today. Sociedad, of course, coming off the back of a win against Villarreal, so they will desperately want to try and nick the points and have a bit of a safety blanket, you could say, to nick a European spot. Real Betis 0, Alaves 0 kind of defines how poor these teams have been this season. Real Betis down in 14th, Alaves fighting for survival as well. It is still all to play in that game. Real Betis dominating in that match with 70% possession. Valencia 1, Espanyol 0. Good goal from the veteran Frenchman Kevin Gamiro. Big goal in that game for Valencia, of course. They're still within an outside shot of a European place. As for Espanyol, already relegated, so they just need to kind of go on and do what they can. Getafe 0, Atletico Madrid 0. The Madrid season is done for Atletico. They've got Champions League spot. They're going to finish 3rd no matter what. But Getafe, they're going for it. 6 shots, 1 on target. Pretty even on possession. And of course, they need to at least get a point or 3 tonight on the board as well. They do want to win and get into the European spots. Real Madrid 1, Villarreal 0. Benzema with a goal. As you would expect, 20 goals this season by the Frenchman. What a season he's had. Half-time, Villarreal have not had a single shot in the game as of yet. Real Madrid doing what they do best, and that is dominating. And then the final game, Bilbao 0, Leganés 0. They had quite a lot of extra additional time there to try and nick a goal, but it's 0-0 still. Bilbao down to 10 men. The goalkeeper was sent off in the 22nd minute. Quite an obvious red card. He came running out of his box, didn't get the ball, clipped to play, a red card. But Leganes have got a lot of work to do. They've had 7 shots, 1 on target. Not really dominating possession-wise, but when you've got an extra man advantage, you would expect them to really go on and take it quite well. If they can nick a result today, of course, it means that that relegation battle is going to be going right down to the wire. Welcome to the stream, Manuel. Great delivery. Keep working, guys. Thank you ever so much. God bless you, Manuel. Thank you so much. You absolute legend. Of course, if you are enjoying the stream, it'd be greatly appreciated if you do leave a subscription and like, as always, if you are new. Plenty more to come. But we are now at half-time, and a lot of likes as well. Thank you for everybody that's liked. Greatly appreciated. It's very hard when it's a one-man setup because usually there are actually 4 of us in the building to do these games, but the other guys that kind of help out with the channel and run it on the side as well don't actually have access to the La Liga games, so I'm the only one that has access to La Liga, so I'm in the very tricky position of trying to kind of run the stream and keep the scores up to date and everything like that. But the good news is we're not dropping frames now, which is fantastic. Hopefully we don't drop any more frames, and we've had some good games so far. Overall, some really good matches. As I said, Celta Vigo, Levante. If you are wanting to watch the Liga game right now, that is probably the game to watch. If you're looking for goals, I think that one is going to have plenty more goals to come. Of course, Celta Vigo have got to really win the game, because if they win it tonight, they're safe no matter what. If they do draw and Mallorca or Leganes pick up points, they're going to be not necessarily down. I think they'd probably stay up anyway, but they'll still be within that fight. And of course, anything can happen in football. It's a crazy thing, football, and that's what makes it so special, because some teams can think they're safe, when in actual fact it could go down to the last game of the season and teams mess up. In terms of results elsewhere tonight, there are actually a couple of games going on, not just in La Liga, there's other leagues as well. The Premier League has been going on. Everton, they finished a 1-1 draw against Villa. Villa will be absolutely gutted. They were 1-0 up until Theo Walcott with a late goal in that game to equalise, which would surely now mean Villa are down. Leicester City, big win for them against Sheffield United. 2-0 win. Jose Perez and Damari Gray getting the goals. As for Sheffield United, well, they've got to be gutted, because they really did need to go and win today's game if they wanted any hopes of getting into the top 4. Brighton, they're 1-0 up against Southampton. Pretty much safe now, no matter what. Neil Maupay with the goal there. And Manchester United 0, Crystal Palace 0. Manchester United 7 shots, 0 on target right now. So that is how the Premier League is looking. Of course, those games are actually about to hit half-time. They did kick off not too long ago, about 8:15. In terms of the other games going on elsewhere, I think there are a couple of matches going off tonight in Serie A as well. So if you want to keep up to date with those ones, there's been a good game between Torino and Genoa tonight. Torino been struggling this season. Big win for them. Would definitely mean surely now that they can start continuing to run on and move up the table. Torino currently actually sat in 15 from 37 points, but a win like that should be enough to keep them up and push them up the table. Bremer, Lukic and Belotti with the goals. And then the other game going on in the background is Spal and Inter Milan. That just kicked off about 15 minutes to go. 0-0 in that one, but Inter Milan absolutely dominating in that game. So, match day 37. How do you think it's gone so far? I mean, for a couple of you guys that will be watching on, maybe you do support teams in the Liga. If you're a Mallorca fan, it's a risky game right now. You're well and truly in the balance, but it could fall out of your hands, because if Celta Vigo win tonight, and there are other points picked up elsewhere, because even if Alaves pick up a point tonight against Betis, then it does mean you'll be going down, which is a real shame for them. But of course, they've got plenty of time to get back into it. It's still all square in that game. As for Leganes, well, they've got the extra man advantage. They need to take it while they can, because if they don't, then they could also be going down tonight, and that will be the relegation battle pretty much done and dusted. As for the title race, well, it is literally pretty much going to be done and dusted tonight at this rate. Real Madrid 1-0 up. Players are coming out for the second half here. A couple of games about to get underway once again, which is fantastic to see. So I am going to get my timer all ready and set up for the second halves to begin. I think it should be in about a minute or two time. But depending on how the results do go today, there might be another match day 38 watch along. Now, it is all, of course, depending on what happens tonight. If teams are pretty much down and dusted, there's not really anything to play for, then I might still do it. But as I said, there's nothing to play for necessarily speaking, so it's not necessarily not important, but of course teams will know where they are anyway in the league, so it might just be the European spots left to play for. Of course, if the title and the relegation spots are wrapped up, then there is literally going to be, I think, Sociedad, Getafe, and a couple of teams like that fighting. But as it stands with the table, I'm looking at it right now. Real Sociedad, if they can get a draw tonight against Sevilla, it's a good point for them. It would put them 2 points ahead of 8th place Valencia, 3 points ahead of 9th place Bilbao. But of course, those two sides right now, Valencia are 1-0 to the good. Bilbao, if they could pick up points tonight, they'll actually move into 8th place and be a point behind Sociedad. So they need to pray that Leganes beat them, of course, because then Sociedad would be well and truly in the driving seat to maybe get a spot in Europe. I think most importantly as well, you have to look at Valencia's goal difference. They've got a -6 goal difference, which is pretty poor for a side in 8th place. But there is still, of course, plenty of work to do for the sides, because Getafe as well are still 0-0, and if they, as it currently stands, do get a point in this game against Atletico Madrid, it's a big point indeed, but it could change very quickly, and if Atletico Madrid do win tonight, then Getafe will desperately need to win their last game of the season. So it is still very tight for Europe. We will, of course, have to find out what happens in just a couple of moments' time when we do go back into those games in a moment. But there are a couple of players in the tunnel ready and raring to go for the second halves of these games. Apologies if I'm a little bit sweaty right now. It is kind of it's a bit musty tonight in the UK. It is the best way to put it. It's a little bit warm in here, but we soldier on, as they always say. And Real Madrid currently in the tunnel. They are now 45 minutes away from the title. And of course, I think this will be Real Madrid's biggest game in the last kind of year and above. As it currently stands, Courtois on for his 19th clean sheet, which is absolutely incredible. As for Barcelona, well, they're in the tunnel right now, not necessarily looking happy at all. I think they will have almost certainly heard the news about Real Madrid going 1-0 up against Villarreal. They will already know anyway that being 1-0 down to Osasuna is a pretty poor result for them. They've got players on the bench to bring on, including the likes of Suarez, Busquets, Vidal, just to name a few of the stars that Quique Setien has to bring on. And I think we will see a couple of those players come on a little bit early on into the game, so they can try and fight back and pick up a win against Osasuna, just to put the pressure on Villarreal. But if you aren't watching the Villarreal game right now, to give you a bit of context, they've had no shots in 45 minutes, so it's going to be very tough for the away side here. They're 1-0 down. It'll be a big loss for them as well. They do. They're pretty much going to get a European spot anyway. I think they've kind of guaranteed a Europa League spot, unless other results go against them tonight. That does include Getafe winning and Sociedad winning. So they're hoping that those sides drop points. Well, here we go. The players are coming out now. Ready for the second half. Just seeing the Mallorca players. This is a big 45 minutes for Mallorca. It is 45 minutes away from them potentially going back down to the second division of Spain. As for Alaves, well, they do need to pick up points tonight against a pretty poor Real Betis side. And as for Celta Vigo, they're coming onto the pitch as well. Fantastic first half, 2-0 down and then bringing it back 2-2. Can they nick a winner in the next 45 minutes? We will have to find out very shortly. But here we are. We are ready. No games are underway as of yet. There are a couple of changes across the board. A change for Real Betis. And no doubt, as I said, we'll see a few more changes. Remember, the 5 substitutions rule will be in effect next season as well. So, good to see. I like it. I mean, I don't mind it at all. It's good to see, but a couple of substitutions coming on across the board. Bruno, the veteran midfielder of Villarreal, is coming on in that game against who they're playing tonight. Real Madrid, of course. And then there's another change as well as they try and desperately nick some points in this match. So there's 2 changes there. One change for Real Betis as well. The other change, by the way, was on Tavero, who was quite good actually for Villarreal in their previous game against Sociedad. Although they did lose, he was one of the star players in that match. He did quite well for himself. He's on the pitch, so trying to change their tactics up in this match against Real Madrid. Even a point today would not be enough for these sides, but all the games are now underway, so we will put the timer back on, probably about 30 seconds ahead here of everything else, and we are away and ready to go. The only one not underway, of course, is Bilbao Leganes, but that's because it had quite a bit of additional time. But here we go. This is it. 45 minutes stands in the way of Real Madrid winning the title, and also 45 minutes stands in the way of Leganes and Mallorca going down here. So the pressure really is on these sides. A big 45 minutes to come. To give you context, Mallorca and Leganes pretty much need to win their games. Now, they could draw and still be in with a shout. As it currently stands, Vigo and Alaves are drawing their games, so they would, of course, need to win their final games of the season. But if Vigo or Alaves were to win their matches, then pretty much they would be guaranteed to go down tonight. So it is all and well truly in Leganes and Mallorca's favours here. No, not necessarily, sorry, in their favours, but the pressure is on them, is what I was trying to say, to win their games and put the relegation battle right to the end of the season. As for Barcelona, well, they're 1-0 down anyway, so it would pretty much give Real Madrid the title tonight, even if Real Madrid were to lose against Villarreal. So, of course, Quique Setien must have gone out, giving his side a big team talk, because there's a lot of work for them to do in the next 45 minutes if they want to put the pressure on Real Madrid to try and drop some points tonight against Villarreal, of course. Either way, right now, it doesn't really matter because they're 1-0 to the good. Karim Benzema, his 20th goal of the season. What a season he's had for Real Madrid. He might have just got them the all-important clinching goal to nick them the title. So here we go. The games are underway. We are ready and raring to go. And let's see what we can have for what is going to be a very interesting 45 minutes. I'll keep you up to date once again. All the scores are there right now. Eibar 3, Valladolid 1. They already actually played a little bit earlier on today. Good game of football that was. Barcelona 1-0 down to Osasuna. Mallorca, they need to win their game against mid-table Granada. Celta Vigo, they need to win their game tonight against Levante. 2-2, drawing that one right now. Celta Vigo were 2-0 down after half an hour. Real Sociedad 0, Sevilla 0. If Sociedad want to get into Europe, they might need to take all 3 points tonight. Betis 0, Alaves 0. If Alaves can win tonight, it would 100% mean that Mallorca and Leganes would be down if they don't win. Valencia 1, Espanyol 0. Big result potentially in that game, because if they do win tonight, Valencia, they're right back in the battle for the European spots. Remember, 7th place does actually get a Europa League spot. They're currently right now sat in 8th. Getafe 0, Atletico Madrid 0. Good game of football on paper, that one. Getafe doing quite good in that match right now, of course, for Atletico Madrid. They haven't really got anything to play for. They're going to finish third this season. A pretty decent season they've had. Of course, they were towards 6th and 7th not too long ago, but since the break, they have been absolutely outstanding. Diego Simeone's side, and of course, they've still got the Champions League to go back to in August. And then the final game, Bilbao 0, Leganes 0. Bilbao down to 10 men. The goalkeeper was sent off after 20 minutes. So still all to play for in that one. Of course, Leganes have got that extra man advantage, and they need to take it, because if they don't, they will be going down tonight, which is a very disappointing thing for them, of course, and it'll be disappointing for Mallorca as well, who will move down to the second tier of Spain. And in terms of the teams moving up, congratulations to Cadiz, which haven't been up for a long time. I think 15 plus years they've not been up in the Liga now. They got promoted a couple of days ago, so we already know one of the teams going back up in the Segunda division of Spain, which is fantastic to hear. One of the kind of newer sides coming up. We don't really get to see a lot of the newer sides. We do tend to see teams like Mallorca and clubs like that go up, but Cadiz, as I said, not been up now for about 15 years, so it is a great opportunity for them to come up into the league and maybe try and show that they can battle and do well in the Liga next season. In terms of the game so far, we are into the second half. No goals as of yet anywhere, but no doubt we'll start to see them slowly go in. We're 49 minutes on the clock here. Barcelona with a free kick yet again. Messi taking it, and his free kicks have been very, very poor tonight. His first one did hit the bar. Since then, he's had 2 free kicks that are off target. In actual fact, Barcelona, as it currently stands, have had 9 shots in this game. Not a single one has been on target in that match, which is really, really poor from this Barcelona side. I do genuinely think Quique Setien is going to get the sack at the end of the season. It has been really, really disappointing for them. Of course, they had kind of like a 4-point lead ahead of Real Madrid at one point. They're now behind by 7. Maybe they could be behind by 10. Of course, if they do actually lose their last game of the season, which is against Alaves, which is a big game for Alaves, depending on their result for the relegation spots tonight. But it is a very musty evening in the UK. To say it is nearly 9:30. It's 9:15 now, actually. Very, very musty evening. Very warm, very humid is the best way to put it. And no doubt in Spain it's much more warmer than it is here. Of course, the drinks breaks really do have to take effect in Spain, considering the warm weather that kind of builds up there over time. It can be like 25 degrees there compared to the pretty cold heat that has been in the last few weeks in England, being pretty cold for this time of year. Of course, drinks breaks, they have to take place. It is so warm there. You see players really, really sweating it out. And even right now on this gaming chair, I'm sat here sweating and it's not even that massively warm. So we had no goals still as of yet. We are kind of 6 minutes into the second halves of these games. Osasuna doing really, really well against this Barcelona side who just don't look at it at all today. As I said, a couple of big players not playing in the starting lineup. One of those players being Luis Suarez, who's on the bench. Sergio Busquets on the bench as well. Of course, not really a case of resting players now because the next game isn't until Sunday night, and that is the last game in La Liga. But I think Barcelona might have walked into it today thinking, we can go in and kind of put a lower rated squad out and it work. And of course it hasn't right now. Osasuna doing the game plan perfectly, just counter-attacking, waiting for opportunities, and it's worked a charm. And the first goal was fantastic from Jose, the half volley just inside of the box. There was no chance ter Stegen was going to save it, and well, Osasuna, if they can pick up the victory, as I said before, it's a massive, massive victory for them. I mean, they haven't got anything to play for, but we have had our first goal. And I said to keep out for a certain game because it was going to be an absolute goal scramble. And it has been indeed. Levante have taken the lead again. It's 3-2. And we are back to square one in the La Liga relegation battle. Because just like that, Borja Mayoral, the former Real Madrid man, has just put Levante into the lead. It's 3-2. And well, Celta Vigo have got it all to do once again. They're down. First goal since the comeback from the second half. And there's been another goal. Well. This this relegation battle just gets all the better because there is now one team that will be absolutely delighted that they've taken the lead. And that, of course, is Alaves. Alaves have taken the lead. They're now 1-0 up against Real Betis. So the goals are starting to fly in. Real Betis 1-0 down. Joselu has opened the scoring. The former Stoke City man has put them into the lead. And in terms of the European race, it has had a goal down there. Getafe and Atletico Madrid battling it out, of course. Getafe trying to get a Europa League spot, but now they've got a big, big problem on their hands because Atletico Madrid have taken the lead in that game. It is 1-0 to Atletico Madrid. So the goals are beginning to fly in. Marcus Llorente with the goal in that one. Quite interestingly enough, actually, today, Marcus Llorente, it was said that he was playing as a striker at the start, but he's not. He's playing as a midfielder, of course. He's had a great, great season at the club, and he's put Atletico Madrid into the lead of that one. So 1-0 to Atletico Madrid in their game. Levante 3-2 to the good in their match, which means Celta Vigo have got a big, big problem here. And as for Real Betis and Alaves, Joselu, big, big goal for Alaves that could potentially save them from relegation in the La Liga. So looking at the table right now, he's just updating very quickly to give you kind of an idea of the goals and how important these goals really are right now with the table. It has froze on me. There we go. So the table has changed very slightly. Mallorca and Leganes, of course, still on 33 points. Celta Vigo dropping down into 17th on 36 points. If Leganes or Mallorca can now pick up at least a point, of course, Mallorca currently getting a point. They need to win their game, realistically speaking. As for Leganes, if they can win it or get a point, then Celta Vigo could potentially drop into the relegation zone if they lose against Levante tonight, but it would need a lot for that to be done. In fact, actually, sorry, they would stay out of the relegation zone, in fact, tonight. Leganes would go into 35 points. They would stay out of the relegation zone, but only by a point, so it'd be very, very tight down there. As for the European spots battle, when nothing technically changes in the table in terms of positions, Getafe would stay 6th, but on 55 points, which would be a great, great situation for Valencia and Bilbao, because if they can nick points tonight, which Valencia are in the lead, Bilbao 0-0, then it does mean Real Sociedad or Getafe could bottle it and drop out of the European spots. It could actually drop out tonight, I think, one of them. I think Real Sociedad would be the more likely of the sides to drop out. Getafe should be alright, but it'd be an interesting way to end the final games of the season if the Europa League spots do go all the way till the end. In terms of the other games going on, Barcelona still 1-0 down to Osasuna. Have they had a shot on target yet? They finally have. It's taken Barcelona 12 shots to have their first one on target. Of course, there'll be Barcelona fans that will be absolutely fuming right now in that game. Mallorca-Granada, very, very tight. Both teams really going for it in this match. 8 shots on target between both sides. Of course, Mallorca have to win it. Granada, they'll just want to win it as well, of course. If Granada do win that game tonight, they will go up into 53 points, which would be absolutely massive for them if they can do that. And, well, it's actually updated again here. I don't know if there's been another goal. Let me just very quickly check. I think there might have been another goal here. Just going to make sure there hasn't been another goal. There hasn't. And while they were just checking with the VAR decision for the Atletico Madrid goal, but just to update you, the table didn't actually update properly as I expected it to. So what happens with the table now is it didn't take into the account of the Getafe situation. So Getafe would actually drop down to 7th place on 54 points, which does then technically mean Granada and Osasuna have an outside chance of getting into the European spots. Now, it's a very, very minimal chance, and I'm talking, Osasuna, they would pretty much need everything to go their way in terms of they need to pick up a couple more goals and hope that other teams drop points, because their goal difference is really poor on -8. But for Granada, it's a great, great situation, because they're on 51 points right now in 10th place. If Getafe lose, and if Real Sociedad maybe lose, they could actually nick a European spot late on into the season, which would be a great, achievement for the club. Of course, they were in towards the top 4 at the beginning of the season. They've dropped down as you would expect them to, but they've still lingered in that top 10 for a large period of the season. So fantastic, fantastic season for Granada, and of course, it's their first season since they've come up, so even better for them. What a way to start your life in La Liga. So, no goals elsewhere. 58 minutes into these matches. If you are new to the stream, be greatly appreciated if you do leave a subscription as always. We've had loads of likes tonight. Thank you ever so much. 10 likes. Jesus. Fair play to everybody who's left likes tonight. And well. Just looking at the Mallorca-Granada game right now, it's very tight there. Real Madrid and Villarreal still 1-0 to the good, of course. Barcelona still losing their game against Osasuna, so it doesn't matter what happens tonight for Los Blancos. They will take the title home if it stays that way. Levante and Celta Vigo are definitely making the most of their shots on target. There has been 7 shots on target between both sides tonight, which has led to 5 goals. Of course, there's half an hour left of that game, and I wouldn't say it's over yet. Both teams really, really going for it, and that's what makes it so special. When you get towards this kind of final stage of the season, teams really do go for it, and I love when you get, these big goal scrambles and goal games. 5 goals in that one already with half an hour to go, and as I said, I really don't think that game is done at all as of yet. Barcelona, they've made a couple of substitutions here, a couple of substitutions you would expect Nelson Semedo coming off. Vidal is coming on, and of course they needed to bring on a goal scorer. This game has been really, really poor so far. Luis Suarez is going to come on here. Martin Braithwaite, of course, that emergency loan signing they brought from Leganes, he comes off. So a couple of changes in that game for Barcelona. They have to go for it, remember. They are still relying right now on Villarreal to try and nick some points in that game. Vigo game is class. Yeah, it's a really, really good game right now. Absolutely tense match, of course, for Levante. There's nothing to play for, but for Celta Vigo, every goal is going to count at this stage, and every point, most importantly, counts as well. They're just actually showing us the game right now. A couple of fouls going in that match. Iago Aspas down, probably very slight injured. Miramon going into the book there. So there's half an hour of that game left. 3-2. Of course, I'll keep you up to date with all the goals as they go in. The table doesn't change right now. If you're a Bilbao fan, then you really, really need your side today to beat Leganes. It's a tough, tough situation for them. And just looking at the table, it's so, so tight down there that if Leganes can pick up a win here against Bilbao, and if Mallorca can nick it, then it's going to be such a great way to end the season, with the battle being against Vigo, Leganes and Mallorca, because Alaves winning against Real Betis would mean they would be safe tonight. No matter what happens, they would actually move up to 15th place. Real Valladolid, who lost 3-1 against Eibar earlier, they dropped down to 16th place. So it would be a battle between Vigo, Leganes and Mallorca. For the teams that do go down. Of course, Celta Vigo would actually have a points advantage here. And there's been a big, not a goal, but there's been a big decision in the Levante game. Now, the referee has gone to VAR for a tackle in the game on Iago Aspas. Levante are now down to 10 men. Miramon has been sent off, which means Levante are 3-2 to the good. And the double yellow has come out. Red card has been given. Levante are down to 10 men. And this is going to be a very, very interesting final half an hour here. So, Levante are down to 10 men. Can Celta Vigo make a comeback and maybe win this game? They've got to now at this stage. Tensions will be rising. And talking about tensions rising, the tensions will have certainly maybe risen very slightly for Real Madrid, because Barcelona are right back in the game. And I think, I'm just looking at the goal now, 24-yard free kick this one. Luis Suarez lays the ball off into the path of Lionel Messi, and of course you would expect Messi to score. And finally, on his fourth free kick, Lionel Messi bangs it into the back of the net. So it is Barcelona 1, Osasuna 1, which means, of course, now the pressure really is on Villarreal to try and nick something in that game. Villarreal have only had one shot so far in just above an hour's of play. So Barcelona 1-1, all square in that one. They really do need Villarreal to do something in that game and, maybe try and nick what would be a very, very big shock win. Let's be real. It's not a shock in terms of the teams, because Villarreal are a really good side on their day, but in terms of the result, Real Madrid 1-0 to the good, and you would expect them to fly in that match, and it's still 1-0. That's the important thing. It's still tight in that game. As for Barcelona, they'll be delighted. Can they push and try and nick a winner in that game and make it 2-1? We'll find out, of course. Just less than half an hour to go in that game. So Real Madrid and Villarreal. There was a free kick in that game that went to Villarreal. Didn't really work it well at all. As for Mallorca right now, it's still 1-1. The relegation battle is very, very tight down there. As I said, Mallorca and Leganes, they both now just desperately need to win this game. Celta Vigo, they've got a one-man advantage in their game, 1 goal down. If they can nick a point, it's just going to make things impossible for Mallorca and Leganes unless they pick up a victory tonight in their games. So it's still, as it currently stands, scores on the doors, as they would say in the darts. Right now, as it currently stands, it is Barcelona 1. 2 seconds. Barcelona 1, Osasuna 1. Of course, just had an equalising goal a moment ago in that game. courtesy of Lionel Messi. Mallorca 1, Granada 1, big goal in that one. In terms of Jose Hernandez put them into the lead. But then Victor Diaz with an absolute fantastic goal from a poor Mallorca mistake equalised in that match. Very, very tight down there. Celta Vigo 2, Levante 3. Levante down to 10 men. Miramon sent off about 5 minutes ago. So the pressure really is on the line right now for Celta Vigo to come back in that game. Sociedad 0, Sevilla 0, goalless in that one. It's been a really, really poor game of football. Plenty of shots, but not really many on target at all. Alaves 1-0 up against Real Betis, which would mean if it stays like that, Alaves would be safe tonight, which is a big, big thing for them. Valencia 1, Espanyol 0. Good goal from the veteran French striker, Kevin Gamiro. Atletico Madrid 1-0 up against Getafe. Goal there from Marcus Llorente. Real Madrid 1-0 up still against Villarreal. The goal from Benzema and Leganes. Still got a lot of work to do. They are peppering shots at Athletic Bilbao, but they're still 0-0 in that game, of course. Bilbao down to 10 men. The goalkeeper was sent off 20 minutes into that match, so all to play for as it currently stands in those games. Thank you to everybody that has been joining the stream tonight. It's been really, really good, and it's nice to see plenty of games going on, of course. When we get to this stage of the season, and it's very tight and there's drama, teams really do go for it. And if there is one game right now where the teams are going for it, it is that Vigo-Levante game. And if you're a Levante fan right now, you are going to be a little bit worried about Celta Vigo, because you are down to 10 men, half an hour to go in that game, and Celta Vigo are really looking up for it right now. They've had 9 shots in that match so far, 3 of them on target, 2 of them leading to goals, so plenty of time for Celta Vigo to get back in that one. As for Real Madrid and Villarreal right now, Real Madrid looking very, very comfortable in this game. It's been I would say pretty much a walk in the park for them. Villarreal, 1 shot in this match, none on target, 42% possession. It is a very expected Real Madrid performance. You know, they are now just under 30 minutes away from the title, which is a big, big thing for Los Blancos. Of course, it will have been 3 years since they picked up their title. So what an absolutely big achievement it is for the club. You know, they've won the Champions League over the last couple of years, and they've won the big titles and things like that. But the one thing that's been missing out of the cabinet for many, many years now for a club like Real Madrid is that La Liga title. And it looks like it could be coming home. If the score does stay like that. Remember, even if Real Madrid were to pick up a point and the Barcelona game stays as it is, then Real Madrid would win the title anyway because of the points difference between the two teams. But we've got about 25 minutes left to go, maybe a little bit more because of additional time. Looking at the other games going on right now, of course, Getafe and Atletico Madrid fighting it off against each other. It was actually Atletico Madrid's first shot on target which led to a goal. Of course, Marcos Llorente getting that opening goal in the game. Both sides playing a 4-4-2 in that one. Yannick Carrasco and Diego Costa up top today for Atletico Madrid. And Diego Simeone's side, as I said before, they were towards 6th and 7th in the league before the break. What a fantastic achievement it was for them to have a really, really good run towards the end of the season. Of course, since the coronavirus break, I don't think they've actually really lost a game at all, which is fantastic for them. Valencia, they've had a couple of problems themselves this season. It could be a big, pivotal win, of course. 1-0 up against Espanyol right now, who are bottom of the league and already relegated as it currently stands. They were relegated a couple of weeks ago. Barcelona really starting to get into it now. They're just showing us a couple of highlights in that game. There was an opportunity that did go into the back of the net, actually. It was Luis Suarez with some acrobatic stuff to put Barcelona into the lead, but the linesman did have his flag up very, very early, which is good to see, of course, to make sure that there's no bad decisions or pretentious decisions. So really, really good work from him. It was an outstanding finish, a bicycle kick pretty much, from Luis Suarez, but unfortunately it doesn't count, and as it stands it is still Barcelona 1, Osasuna 1, but they're knocking on the door. That's the important thing, and they could eventually break down the brick wall of Osasuna and how they've been so far. Celta Vigo still 3-2 to Levante, 20 minutes left on the clock in that one. As for those relegation battle games, Leganes still 0-0. It would be a really, really disappointing result considering Bilbao have been down to 10 men for the last kind of 40 minutes now. They do need to somehow try and nick something in that game. we'll have a quick look at some of the scores elsewhere, because maybe you are a Premier League fan and you want to kind of keep up to date with those scores, but you do have your eyes a bit more fixated on these games in La Liga. So just very, very quickly checking here the Premier League scores. So for those of you that do want to kind of have a little, bit of a hint of what the scores are right now in the Premier League. As it currently stands in those games, Manchester United, they were playing off against Crystal Palace. It's 1-1 in that game. Ayew equalising in that go. Rashford did open the scoring in the 45th minute, kind of a minute of additional time. So not too bad there, but Palace equalising to make it 1-1. So interesting in the Premier League right now. Manchester United, are they about to drop points yet again? That is the question. I think that's on everyone's lips. Of course, the top four battle in the Premier League is pretty tight, but Leicester getting a victory today against Sheffield United is going to make things very, very hard. And we have a big, big goal it is, because Granada have put themselves into the lead. It is 2-1 to Granada, and could that be the goal that relegates Mallorca? And most importantly for Granada, could that be the goal that gives them a very big outside chance of getting into the European spots? It's a massive, massive goal, and the goal, of course, in this game coming from Carlos Fernandes, the striker. And what a big, big goal that is, because as I said, Granada, they've been absolutely outstanding this season. Coming into the league, really been dominant. They were up towards that top end of the table, towards the top four and the top six at the start. They are now 2-1 up. And what a big, big goal that is, because Mallorca now need to score 2 or they are relegated from the league. And as for Granada, well, it's a big, big, big goal for them. They move up into 9th place, 53 points. They are only 1 point away from the European spots. Could they do it? That is the question. Could they do it late on and nick what would be an absolutely outstanding season? It is the Sheffield United equivalent, you could say, of the Premier League, of how well that Granada have done this season. They've come into the league, they've been so impressive, and, well, they are 1 game away, as it currently stands, from getting into Europe. So, big, big goal there. Mallorca, 2-1 down against Granada. They've got all the work to do, of course. That loss would relegate them as of tonight. They have to win now, no matter what. In that match. So keep your eyes out for that, because it could get interesting towards the final 20 minutes of that game. 18 minutes to go in most of the games. Any other goals elsewhere? Alaves still 1-0 up. Bilbao and Leganes is still 0-0 in that match. 12 shots from Leganes, but only 3 on target. Looking at the Leganes side, they haven't really, but they have made 3 substitutions. They're really going for it now, which of course you would expect them to at this stage of the competition. We've got 20 minutes to go. Big, big games these. Eibar 3, Valladolid 1. Good result for them. A couple of weeks ago. A couple of hours ago, not weeks ago. Barcelona 1, Osasuna 1. Mallorca 1, Granada 2. Celta Vigo 2, Levante 3. Sociedad 0, Sevilla 0. Betis 0, Alaves 1. Valencia 1, Espanyol 0. Getafe 0, Atletico Madrid 1, and Bilbao 0, Leganes 0. So, some good results here and there, some bad results for other teams right now. Apologies if I am dropping frames once again. Virgin Media is shit. Honestly, I hate the company. Real Madrid have got a penalty though. Penalty, and this could be the winning goal. Could this be the goal, the biggest chance for Real Madrid to nick the title? Of course, if this goes in, it has to be game over, surely. Ramos has a major opportunity to win it for them. Just looking at the opportunity, it was actually Ramos going all the way into the box. He lays it off into the path of Vinicius Jr. And, well, actually, this might not count as a penalty. It could be a free kick here. Just trying to look at the decision right now. It's right on the edge of the box, and it's literally pretty much on the line. And I don't know whether the referee here will actually give it as a free kick. Well, the ball is being put down for a penalty. It looks like it is going to still be a penalty. Sergio Ramos standing over this one. Of course, he's just waiting for a moment. I think they're just trying to check here to see whether this is going to be a penalty or not, or whether it's going to be a free kick. But Sergio Ramos has a big opportunity here to put his side 2 to the good and pretty much claim the title for Real Madrid. If it is given as a penalty, of course, we do have to kind of wait and see here to find out what it's going to be given as. Virgin Media having a fucking shitter here. Well, they're just actually looking at that decision again just to make sure. You can see, I think it's a free kick. And I think he's going to be given as a free kick. But the referee just waiting for VAR to make the decision. Apologies about the loss of frames. As I said, it will be a little bit laggy because Virgin Media's Wi-Fi is absolutely horrendous. But still talking. And the referee has given the penalty to Real Madrid. So Real Madrid have a penalty here. Sergio Ramos to win the title, surely, for Real Madrid. Oh, it's cheeky. It is absolutely cheeky. And it's not going to count. Well, Sergio Ramos took the penalty, and rather than shooting the penalty, he laid it off. And the ref has called it back. Now, I don't know whether he's calling it back here for the players trying to run before. And it is indeed. Villarreal players were in the box before Ramos had taken the penalty. So this is probably going to get retaken again here. I mean, it was such a smart decision from Sergio Ramos. And he's got to be absolutely gutted to not be able for that goal to count. But I think there's a lot of Villarreal players talking to the referee right now, frustrated with the decision. It's absolutely right. There were 2 players in the box before Sergio Ramos had even taken his penalty. Bruno being one of the players, the veteran midfielder, who's frustrated with the decision. And a big goal, by the way, while the decision is made here. Alaves have pretty much sealed their fate in La Liga. They are 2-0 up against Real Betis, which means as it stands, if they win this game, they will be staying in La Liga next season. So a big, big goal for them. Real Betis, what a shocking season they've had. Really, really poor. And that is 2-0 to Alaves. So what a big opportunity it is for them to, of course, survive. Well done to Alaves. Big, big result, of course, as you would expect. And the decision has been made here for the penalty to be retaken. This time, Karim Benzema is standing on the spot. He's taken 4 penalties this season. And, of course, as you would expect, he smashed all 4 in. So the Frenchman steps up. And it's in the back of the net. And that should surely be that. Real Madrid have got to have won the title now. I mean, Villarreal have only had 1 shot all game long, and that could be the goal that seals their fate. It's a big, big goal, and Real Madrid might have just won the title. 2-0 to the good. Congratulations if you are a Real Madrid fan. 21 goals for Benzema this season, and it looks like it could be surely done and dusted now. Zidane might have just guided his team to another first title for Real Madrid in 3 years. A couple of things going on elsewhere. Osasuna, they're down to 10 men. They've just had a sending off. Gallego has been sent off just a moment ago. So Osasuna down to 10 men, of course. As it currently stands there, it is 1-1 in that match. Alaves, 2-0 to the good. As I said a moment ago, it was Rodrigo Eli, the Brazilian centre-back, getting the second goal in that match. What a big, big goal that is for Alaves, of course. They will be absolutely safe no matter what happens if they do win this match now. But in terms of how the table is looking right now, it is fantastic. Fantastic to see. Real Madrid are in a great position here to nick the title. Well, not necessarily nick the title, but just claim the title very, very comfortably. Good result this could be for them. A 2-0 lead against Villarreal. Can they hold on, though? There is still time left in these games. We could be towards the final 10 minutes, of course, of these matches. Alaves, just look at the celebrations right now for them against Betis. All of the players have gone absolutely mega. Absolute delight for them. As I said a moment ago, that goal Alaves in La Liga next season. If they win this game, which they're 2-0 to the good, they are going to be staying up next season. It's a fantastic, fantastic goal from Rodrigo Eli. Hits it on the volley from a corner. And what a fantastic finish that is from the Brazilian centre-back. Smashes that into the back of the net. And Alaves 2-0 to the good. Big, big goal for them. What a fantastic opportunity for Alaves here to survive this season. In terms of the other goals and results elsewhere, Sociedad still 0-0 in their game against Sevilla. Really, really poor match there. It is also still 0-0 between Bilbao and Leganés, although they have just had a great opportunity to go through on goal, which was, really poorly taken. And, well, this should be 1-0 up Leganés. It was an absolutely incredible bicycle kick attempt there, too. Nearly went into the back of the net. That would have been mental. Imagine that. Bicycle kick goal for Leganés to win it. Would have kept them right in the race for the relegation. That would have been an outstanding effort. I think it was Awazim who went for it, which is a monster. Into the final 10 minutes of these fixtures. He's just quickly talking to VAR here to determine the decision. Are the Leganés going to get what would be a massive, massive goal? And the answer is absolutely yes, they are. Leganés have taken the lead against Bilbao. That is a massive, massive goal in the relegation battle. Because as it currently stands, they're in the lead, and that might put Celta Vigo back in the race to survive for the final match day. Unbelievable. Incredible, incredible there to see. Absolutely mental. Wow. Don't think anyone was expecting that at all there. Crazy. Just checking here to make sure it has actually counted. And it has 100% counted. Guerrero with the goal, which means it is in. And that is a big, big goal in the game. And to make things even worse, Mallorca are down to 10 men. Sedlar's been sent off. So Mallorca down to 10 men with just about 8 minutes left. That is the fourth red card of the night, actually, in La Liga. So really, really bad night here for Mallorca. It looks like it's over for them. But it looks like the battle's going to continue on here for Leganés, because the goal going in is massive for the relegation battle, because it will chuck Celta Vigo right back into it. Leganés on 35 points, Celta Vigo on 36, so it could go down to the last game of the season. And the goal coming from Roque Messer, I think. Sorry, Guerrero, my bad. I don't know whether the Google there had credited it to the wrong player, but it is Guerrero who scored it. So Leganés have the goal. He's absolutely deserved, and I thought it was going to be onside, and he absolutely was. And Celta Vigo, well, they need to win now, because if they don't win this game, then they are going to be going down to the final game of the season in a battle against Leganés to see who stays up. As it currently stands in that game between Vigo and Levante, Vigo still 3-2 down. They've got another man on the pitch, of course, Levante down to 10 men in their game. So can they break them down? That is the question. And it's a big, big opportunity here for Leganés to really go for it. And just to keep you updated with the games for last games of the season, of course, I think there'll be a lot of people interested to see who faces who. Espanyol will be facing Celta Vigo, and Alaves. Leganés, they'll be against Real Madrid, so they've got a very, very tough job on their hands, Leganés, if they do want to try and get something, of course, and survive. So there has been another goal. This time it is going to be a goal for Villarreal. Well, well, well. Let's hold on to our hats here, because Vicente Iborra has just made it 2-1. Game on, and with 6 minutes to go. Of course, I don't think here it would be enough for them at all. They would need to score 2 in this game to, of course, kind of, they need to beat Real Madrid, realistically speaking. Barcelona, as it currently stands, still 1-1 against Osasuna, so there's a lot of work for them to do. But if Barcelona can nick a late winner here, and Villarreal can somehow get 2 more goals in the next couple of minutes, then it does mean that it would go down to the last day. But that is a lot. Require a lot for that to happen. Atletico Madrid, they did think they were 2-0 up a moment ago. Thomas Partey thought he'd got the second goal in the game for Atletico Madrid. That has just been ruled out for offside, but we're into the latter stages of these games here. We're now down to the kind of like the final 5 minutes of most of these games. As it currently stands, the scores, Barcelona 1, Osasuna 1. Barcelona, they need the win, and they need Villarreal to score 2 more goals here. Mallorca 1, Granada 2. They were 1-0 up. It has just turned into an absolutely chaotic night for Mallorca. They're down to 10 men. They've conceded 2 goals, and really, really poor for them. And it does look like Mallorca are getting relegated tonight. Celta Vigo 2, Levante 3. They need to at least get a point in this game, Celta Vigo, because if they don't and Levante win, it is going to go down to the last day. Of course, even if they do get a point, it will go down to the last day anyway. Of course, a win would be needed, but they need 2 goals in 5 minutes. Sociedad 0, Sevilla 0. Boring game, really, so far. Sociedad dominating, but not getting anything there. Alaves 2-0 up against Betis. That does mean that if that stays that way, Alaves will claim claim a spot in the Liga next season, not the title. Might be quite a while away from getting the title. Valencia 1, Espanyol 0. You would probably expect them to win it. They are indeed, of course, pressure on them to try and get a European spot. Atletico Madrid 1, Getafe 0. It could have been 2-0. Thomas Partey scored a moment ago, but it was ruled out for offside. And then the interesting one, of course, Real Madrid 2, Villarreal 1. Real Madrid are on course to win the title. 6 more minutes with a bit of additional time to go. And most importantly, against Bilbao, they've been knocking on the door pretty much all game long. Red card came to Unai Simon, the goalkeeper, 22 minutes in. Go. If they can hold on, of course, they do face Real Madrid in the last game of the season. Could they do it? It's an impossible challenge on paper. But, of course, the pressure really would be on them to beat Real Madrid. And hope Celta Vigo drop points against Espanyol, which is very tough ask. And if you're a Leganes fan, it's probably the worst set of fixtures you could have possibly wanted for the last games of the season because, of course, you're facing the top team and your battle, your rivals for relegation are facing the bottom team. So, unlucky for them there. In terms of the other games, it has now officially been 2-0 to Atletico Madrid. It isn't Thomas Partey, I think, this time. So we do have a second goal in that game. Atletico Madrid 2-0 to the good. They did have a goal a moment ago. Thomas Partey scored just a few minutes ago. That one was ruled out. They're now 2-0 up in that game. Just waiting to find out who the goal scorer is in that match. But either way, they're 2-0 to the good. Atletico Madrid, they will get the victory. As for Getafe, of course, they miss out on what was a vital game for them to try and get some points. Of course, they desperately needed to pick up as many points as they possibly could. Unfortunately, it looks like they're about to lose that game. Leganes still 1-0 up as well. But we are now into crunch time. Are we going to see any late goals, any late opportunities? Remember, Villarreal, they need to score 2 in the next kind of 5 minutes here if they do want to shock Real Madrid. They're still in the balance. Even a point for Villarreal would be great. I mean, not necessarily for a Barcelona fan would it be great, but for Villarreal it would be a massive point against Real Madrid. Sociedad 0, Sevilla 0, still goalless there. Barcelona still 1-1 against Osasuna. They've had 14 shots, only 2 on target tonight. Once again, even a point for Osasuna would be fantastic at this stage of the season. There's a goal line scramble right now for Villarreal, and they were so close to making it 2-2, which would have been very interesting going into the final few minutes. Villarreal's manager not quite happy there with the opportunity going amiss. But this is where we should start to see maybe a couple more opportunities from clubs. As I said, Mallorca desperately need the goals. But in terms of Atletico Madrid's goal, well, it was actually against the run of play. Now, I think here it looked like the linesman had flagged a decision for offside, but it looks like it was coming against the run of play. I mean, the goal's been given to Thomas Lemar. It's a very interesting decision here. And it's absolutely spot on. It was called for an offside decision that was wrongfully given as an offside, and it's countered. So Lemar making it 2-0 in that game. Big goal. And Atletico Madrid, of course, they will stay third, but they will try and take as many points as they possibly can and improve their goal and points tally. So 2-0 up. Big goal there. And according to La Liga TV, they're accrediting it. They've actually given it to Thomas Partey. So I don't know technically who's got it here. Because one person saying one thing and one saying another in terms of who scored it. But Real Madrid, Villarreal, we're going into the last couple of minutes. We are now in the 90th minute of these games. This is where crunch time really happens. Can anybody nick a late winner in the games of Barcelona? It's 1-1 there. Mallorca, can they nick an equaliser? But it just wouldn't be enough. They need to score 2. Celta Vigo, they need a point. It would make it not impossible for Leganes to survive, but very hard indeed. Sociedad Sevilla still 0-0. Valencia 1-0 up against Espanyol. Villarreal still got a chance of maybe getting a point against Real Madrid, and Leganes are still 1-0 up against Bilbao, who are down to 10 men. It is an interesting kind of final couple of minutes here. Hopefully I'll get kind of an estimation here of how much additional time we've got. But I just want to say big thanks to everybody who's joined tonight. It's very hard to do this, as I said, when it's one person on their own doing it and they're covering 9 games at once and my internet's been fucking awful and things like that. It makes it very, very hard to run a stream. But for any of you that have watched on and kind of put up with the lag at times and put up with me talking shite, you could say, at times, to waffle on through the 90 minutes, I do appreciate it. It's been nice to have people on board talking in the chat, and it's been nice as well to go through the games, because there have been some good games tonight. I mean, that Vigo-Levante game has got to be the standout match so far, and there's in it. Levante are down to 10 men in that match. If Celta Vigo can nick a point, of course, Leganes go to Real Madrid on the final day this season, and Vigo go to Espanyol on their final game of the season, which is on Sunday, by the way. So if you are wanting to watch those games, they should be available on Liga TV, which is Premier Sport, for any of you that do actually want to watch the games right now. Of course, last games of the season on Sunday in La Liga. Content-wise, there's plenty more to come for us, but I'll talk about that a little bit later on, because we've still got games going on. I'll talk about that after we've done, after the games have finished here. But we do have a goal, a very, very dramatic decision, because just as I say, Celta Vigo need a goal, they have absolutely smashed it in. Fernandez, the Uruguayan midfielder, has just surely given what could be the most important goal of Celta Vigo's La Liga kind of career, in the league. What a big, big goal that is. The Uruguayan smashes it in. It's 3-3 in that game. Late on, they've finally been able to break the duct of this 10-man Levante. And well, there's 7 minutes of additional time in this game. They still have an opportunity in this match to nick it. And talking about dramatic decisions, Real Betis have gone down to 10 men in their match. That's the 5th red card of the day. Juanmi's been sent off. But not only has there been a sending off in the game, there's also been a goal. Garcia, the former Manchester City midfielder, has scored in that game, which means it's Real Betis 1, Alaves 2. Still all to play for in that game then. Of course, if Alaves drop points, it means they'll get shoved back into that relegation battle, but they're 2-1 up to the good. Of course, it's been fantastic for them. A really good match so far, but he's still in the balance, and there's still time maybe for Real Betis to nick a point in that game. Big, big decision. As I said, Real Betis there, that's the 5th yellow card of the night. 5th red card of the night, which is absolutely mental. The red cards flying about tonight in La Liga. But it's been some great games to watch. And just looking now, there's 7 minutes of additional time in the Betis games. There's about 4 minutes left. They could nick an equalising goal. I've got to say, it's an incredible run from Emerson, and it's a decent finish into the back of the net for Real Betis there. So Garcia getting the goal, according to Google. I think actually that was I'm looking at the game right now. It was actually Loren. I don't know where Google's got Xavi Garcia from. It was actually Loren who scored the goal there. So Loren's got it. Talking about late goals, if you thought maybe Villarreal were going to make a comeback, it's over. The title is going to Real Madrid, because Osasuna have just nicked a late winner against Barcelona. Can you believe it? 2-1 to Osasuna. They've done it late on, and it's Torres who's nicked a 94th minute winner, which means either way, whatever happens, Los Blancos have won the title. Congratulations to any Real Madrid fans who will be certainly delighted. Real Madrid, of course, nicking the title, even if they'd have lost this game now against Villarreal. But Osasuna, they were down to 10 men. They were down to 10 men, and they've done it. They've nicked what would be a big, big victory for them. Roberto Torres in that game, making it 2-1 to Osasuna. Barcelona, could they potentially sack Quique Setien? And talking about red cards, there have been 8 red cards. 8 red cards. There's been another goal as well. Leganes have done it. It's 2-0 to Leganes against Bilbao, and that is a massive, massive goal, of course, for their relegation battle. Although Celta Vigo, with that equaliser, still have time to nick a winner. And then the relegation race here, of course, Leganes just have to keep ploughing on, trying to score as many goals as they can. But there's been red cards galore in the last couple of minutes. Getafe have had a red card. Neom has been sent off in the 92nd minute. There's been a sending off for Valencia. Juan Costa has been sent off. Real Betis of course, got a player sent off a moment ago. Alaves have had a player sent off. Rodrigo Eli has been sent off in the 96th minute. Celta Vigo have had a player sent off. Nolito has been sent off in the 95th minute as well. Of course, he was an emergency loan signing for Celta Vigo. They used the stuff there, of course, to bring him in. He was originally a goalkeeper. And there's even more drama. Can you write it? Unbelievable. Celta Vigo's goal has been ruled out. My word. Well, I don't know how long it's taken here for the referee to make the decision. It's been a long, long time that they've taken the decision. But the goal has actually come off Fernandez's right foot. And he's offside with when the actual shot's gone into the back of the net. So the referee has disallowed Celta Vigo's goal. It's back to 3-2. What the fuck is going on in La Liga right now? It's mental. We've had about 4 yellow cards in the last minute. And as I said, Celta Vigo's goal has been ruled out. Big, big decision in that game. Full time for Real Madrid means that Real Madrid have secured the title. Big, big, big congratulations to any Real Madrid fans. The title is secured no matter what, whether Barcelona or, won or lost that game. Real Madrid have beat Villarreal 2-1. Big, big goals from Karim Benzema, 2 goals from the Frenchman. Of course, Iborra thought maybe he could get his side back into the game, but he hasn't. So Real Madrid have won the title. Congratulations to Los Blancos. As for Barcelona, 2-1 down right now. Just to make things worse, they're not 3-1 down. There is another team that is 3-1 down. Mallorca are 3-1 down, which means they are relegated and out of La Liga. You can see the celebrations right now if you are watching alongside me at the same time. Real Madrid absolutely delighted. It's their first title in 3 years in La Liga. They finally clawed it back from Barcelona, and Zidane is absolutely ecstatic right now. Big, big victory for Real Madrid tonight against Villarreal. The pressure was on them. They delivered, and they have picked up that all-important 3 points and the title. So congratulations to Real Madrid. In terms of other results elsewhere, full-time at Leganes, 2-0 win for them means that it will go down. Potentially, of course, there's still time in that Celta Vigo game. Not going to say anything yet. Bilbao losing the game. Big loss for them. They were down to 10 men from the 20th minute. Goalkeeper again is sent off. Atletico Madrid, 2-0 win against Getafe. They were down to 10 men quite late on. Getafe. Big win for Simeone's men, of course. They will finish third no matter what happens now. Betis lost against Alaves, which means Alaves are now safe in La Liga. Congratulations to them. Big, big victory for them. They had to win today to stay in the league. Sociedad ended 0-0 against Sevilla. Of course, bit of a boring game there, let's be real. Barcelona, full time there. Osasuna have beat them 2-1. What a big result for them. They were down to 10 men about 10-15 minutes towards the end of the game. They have done it and picked up a big 3 points against them. Congratulations to Osasuna for the 3 points. Of course, for Barcelona, it's the worst thing that could have happened. They've lost their game. They're 7 points, of course, behind Real Madrid, and it's a big, big loss. And on the screen right now, I can see Real Madrid delighted and celebrating, but there are still games still going on. The last couple of minutes here, of course, Celta Vigo had a long, long, long break for the decision, but it's been called there. It's done. Celta Vigo have lost against Levante. Dramatic decision made in the 94th minute. Fernandez, the Uruguayan he'd equalised for Celta Vigo. It would have surely meant that the La Liga relegation battle was over, but it was ruled out. Nolito then got sent off a minute afterwards with complaints to the referee, and Celta Vigo lose that game, which means it will go down to the wire in that game, and we're into the 10th minute of additional time between Mallorca and Granada in that match. It looks like one of the goals has actually been ruled out for Granada, so it is technically 2-1 in that game. It has indeed, so it's 2-1 to Granada. One of the goals has been ruled out, but congratulations to Real Madrid for what is an incredible, incredible feat to take the title home, and they're absolutely delighted. Sergio Ramos, ecstatic, of course, did take a penalty today. A little bit of a controversial decision in terms of the offside call. Zidane, ecstatic and well. What makes it even better is Barcelona losing 2-1 to Osasuna tonight. Big, big victory for Osasuna. The other game is still going on right now. Mallorca Granada into the 100th minute. Mallorca, even if they were to pick up a point now, they need to score 2 goals in quick fashion for them to pick the points up. And we can now go through the table because that game has indeed finished. It finishes 2-1 to Granada, which means all of the games are finished in La Liga for match day 37. And what a match day it was. Drama everywhere. Just to keep you up to date with the points and how the league looks. Real Madrid finished first on 86 points. Barcelona, with that loss, finished with 79 points at the end of match day 37. They're 7 points behind Real Madrid. They could go 10 points behind if they lose their last game. That would be a really, really poor, and no doubt I do think Quique Setien is going to get sacked. As for the European battle for the Europa League spots, Getafe losing means they drop down to 54 points. Just behind them, Valencia on 53 points. 9th is Granada on 53 points. 10th is Osasuna on 51 points. There is still going to be a battle till the end of the season for the Europa League spots. And then down in the relegation spots, Mallorca are officially relegated. 2-1 loss tonight means that they go down. Of course, they went down to 10 men. Disappointing, of course, for them. They are now relegated. And the relegation battle will go down to the last game of the season. Leganes picking up a 2-0 win against Bilbao means they're on 35 points. And the one team that thought they might have just nicked the most vital point of Celta Vigo's club history in terms of their relegation battle, they had that goal ruled out in the 94th minute, which means Celta Vigo are 1 point above Leganes. It will go down to the final day. Big games to come for those sides. What a game. What a day. Breathe. Whew. What an incredible match day 37 that was indeed. I said I will apologise for the lag. It's been really annoying with the Virgin Media issues and that, but at least we've been able to steamroll on today and have a good stream and give you guys the content that you want in terms of a watch along. To give you context for match day 38 in terms of the stuff that's still going on, of course the Europa League battle is still going on. Atletico Madrid, they face off against Real Sociedad on the final match day. Villarreal face off against Eibar. They've already got a European spot anyway. Most importantly though, in the relegation battle, Celta Vigo face off against Espanyol. That's the bottom team in La Liga. And then Leganes, they have to beat Real Madrid. Could be a big game against the top club. Can Leganes beat the brand new champions of Spain? Well, there we go. Thank you very much for joining me tonight for this watch along. It was a bit of a tester idea, this one, for the league, and I hope you guys have enjoyed it. It's been a dramatic night of fixtures, and it's really warm in this room. It's really musty right now. In terms of other content on the channel, keep your eyes out. There's plenty more watch alongs to come, and it won't just be me this time doing the watch alongs. I will have the other boys as well from the Sports Corner team. We've got plenty of Premier League watch-alongs to come over the next 2 weeks as the Premier League comes to a close. We also have, coming in August, every single Champions League and Europa League game. We will have a watch-along, every goal, every moment. You can keep your eyes out for that. We'll be starting that in August. If you're looking for something a little bit different, you wanted maybe some relaxed FIFA content, you could join me on Twitch on Friday nights. That's going to be tomorrow night, of course. We're going to be live about 5:30, 6-ish, I think. If my internet decides not to die on me, of course, keep your eyes out for that. It'd be good fun. A little bit more relaxed stuff with FIFA content and that. And then, of course, we do have all those watch-alongs, as I said, with the Premier League as well over the next coming weeks. So thank you very much for everybody that's joined us tonight. It has been very interesting in La Liga, but congratulations to Real Madrid. They are now the brand new champions of Spain. It's taken them 3 years to do it, but it finally comes home. I'll see you later.